What is going on, everybody? How are we doing on this fine Thursday evening? My name is Eric, and welcome to Q2C VR Gamer Live. We are a weekly VR talk show that airs live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where we broadcast live simultaneously to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, the multiverse, TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. Crazy. Todd's in TikTok. But if you cannot catch us live, everybody, you can always catch us afterwards on your favorite podcast platform. Please go over and listen. It's actually really, really good, and it's updated. We would appreciate it. Thanks for being here. We have an amazing show with an amazing guest tonight. It's going to be freaking awesome. But before we go any further, let me say hello to my partner from the great Canadian Northwest. He may be cagey, cantankerous, calculating, and capricious, but he's the most captivating, cathartic, charismatic, carefree Canadian I know. Todd Jackson, what's up, dude?
Diddly ho diddly.
I'm doing
C's, great,
man.
Where the hell do you come up with this shit last minute? I tell you,
That's a lot of C's, dude. That's a lot.
that was a lot. You didn't miss any of them. That was good.
Oh, I think I used every adjective, every C adjective I could figure out on that.
You could Google.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you think I was coming up with that on my own? I don't have the aptitude for that kind of shit, dude.
No, I know. I don't blame you.
How's everything going, man? How's your week?
It's good. It's been busy. Crazy busy week, actually.
You always say that. You say the same thing every week.
Busy all the time.
You're not busy.
I don't know. On the weekends when I'm chilling by a fire with an old fashioned in my hand, I'm not busy.
Nice.
Other than that, I'm busy.
You think you're better than me with your old fashioned?
You're damn right.
Oh man. Well, thank you everybody for being here tonight. We appreciate it. Let's bring in our number 3, which is Dee. What's up, Dee?
Hi, Dee.
Hey. I catch you mid-drink. Are you okay?
Dude, yeah, no, I'm good.
What's happening? How's your week?
My week's all right, just a lot of work and a lot of Remnant 2 flat gaming.
Remnant 2, I know.
Cool.
Can you play in VR yet? Is there a VR mod for this yet?
Once the injector gets released, yes, because this is Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, let's do it. I would play. I'll play it the first day that thing is ready. I'll play it. It sounds like it's my kind of game. It's a shooter, right? It's like
it's freaking fantastic, but you're gonna be so low level and not like up to par with us.
Ooh,
so
yeah, but see, my skill will just bring me automatically up to whatever level you would probably already be at. You'd be like, "Holy shit, Mash is so good."
I don't think anybody believes that.
No, what are you talking about? Why not? Why not?
Nope.
Guys, we have an awesome show for you tonight. We have a special guest that we're going to bring in a minute, but let's say hello. Actually, screw that. Let's bring our special guest in. We'll say hello to the chat together because you probably all know him from other shows out there, mainly F Reality Podcast, and that is Jose Santiago. Jose, the VR Tech. What is up, dude?
Yo, what's up, you guys? Oh man, I am so hyped. I've been just like, I feel this is a production, man. This is incredible. Thank you guys for having me, man. Hello, chat.
Hell yeah, man. We should have had you a long time ago. Next time we promise we won't wait that long before we do it again. For sure, but man, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us tonight. We're gonna have a blast, man. We're gonna talk about you. We want to know all about you a little bit, your background, how you became who you are, and the business you've created, and the imprint that you have put on the VR community. And then we're just gonna get into some topics, man, because there is a ton of shit going on in VR right now. I mean, there's been times over the last a month and a half, 2 months where we have been struggling just to find topics to talk about. Like we're like searching, looking. Now it's like floodgates are open, and I think it's going to be that way from now until probably sometime around the holiday season. But yeah, before we get any further, let's just go to our chat and say hi to everybody very quickly. We have Brandon VR is here. Mickey Bear is here. What is up, Mickey? Going to see Mickey in person live next week out in Phoenix, Arizona for the Game On Expo. Let's see. We've got Philozix is here. Michelle B. Getting things done. What is up, dude? How are you doing?
Legend.
Get him to the metaverse. Let's see who else we got here. Mr. Tasselhoff is here. Kubo92 says first, but I don't think that was the case, dude. Sorry.
I don't think so. Not this time.
Ender's VR Arcade is here. What is up? And how you doing? Destiny 11. VR Spry Guy is here. Says Diablo has taken all of his time. He's in Diablo. Forget about Remnant.
I know. I need to step back into that for a little bit so I don't forget how to play.
When are you gonna have time to play VR games with all these
VR in, but Dude, there's just so much good flat right now. I can't see
Did you
no.
stop? Weren't you playing the Callisto Protocol too?
I was,
Did
and
you?
then that's part of my problem. I get a game, it's
Mhm.
awesome. Oh, look, here comes this new game.
Yeah,
Play
because
that.
you were hot and
And
heavy into Jedi Survivor too for a while, right?
yeah, I
Yeah,
streamed it for a little bit
you
too, my
did.
So
first
good.
gameplay, but oh my
Then
goodness,
you
just
moved
too
on.
many games.
I
And
love that. I wish I could just drop a game and go towards that direction. I have this obsession with
are
finishing
you
a game
finishing it?
through. Like I
Same.
finished Jedi Survivor and now I'm on Final Fantasy 16 and I don't want to touch
Oh,
anything else till I
That's
finish.
another game that I bought that I played like an hour or two, dude. Oh
holy
It is
my
crap, D.
phenomenal.
god.
That is honestly game of the year for me personally.
We
I
we
wow.
need we need more VR to bring better VR games
Yes.
to bring D back in here because she's getting
I
flat.
do.
Yeah,
Not
man, these
enough.
pancake games, they're getting too good.
I
They
know.
are
I
good.
know.
They
We need
have
better
been
VR.
good.
We'll talk about
Yes.
better VR coming up because it's going to be one. I think it's going to be one of the topics I want to talk about. But let's finish here. We have I said Destiny 11 and Spry Guy. James is here. What is up, dude? How are you doing? Let's see. Mepper is here. Says hi to absolutely everybody. We love Mepper. Let's see who else we have here. PDX VR is here. Oh my god, there's so many shit. Techno Glitch, Arcanian is here. What is up, Arcanian? D1360 VR is here. Chris 9989. He says, sure, blame the Canadian. I was blaming Todd because we were late. And it was his fault.
I'm trying to tweak TikTok over here on another screen. If you wonder what the hell I'm looking at, go over to TikTok and have a look. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, we
It looks
are live
really
on
good.
TikTok,
It looks
everybody.
really good on TikTok.
It does look
This is
good on
awesome.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Live in TikTok. We're taking over the world.
Great.
Taking over the world, I
Jose
tell
the
you.
VR tech on TikTok. Help me grow my TikTok, guys. Come
Hell
on.
yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah, hey, we need to get
I'll
to
start
all
dropping
your
links.
links too because you're just not on TikTok. I don't want to get distracted because you're everywhere, man. But yeah, we'll hit everyone because you are all over the place. Let's see, we got Hendrix Toy is here, Zell 2318, Riley Jackson is here. What is up, Riley? How are you doing? Rogue TR, Assassin 32 VR. Oh my god, Tribe Grey Wolf is here. What is up, dude? And he said, "I
Love
see
Tribe
you."
Grey Wolf,
He
man.
said, "I see you, Andy Obscure Nerd." I didn't see Andy in the chat yet, but he must be here. Brandon VR is
There
here.
it is.
There it is.
Nice.
So
Love it.
sick. I love Tribe Grey Wolf's production too, man. That's
Good people. Good
Yeah.
people. The Grey
Really
Wolves.
good people, man.
Tribe and Jordy are probably two of the best
Mhm.
people I've known.
Some of my
Awesome,
favorite
and they're
people.
doing some cool shit, man. Right now, he's doing a lot of cool stuff with mixed reality, doing his
Yeah, oh,
streams.
yeah.
I caught a couple of them during the day this week. It was fun to jump in there and say hi.
To be honest with you, it's the only TikTok VR stream that ever really actually captured my attention. They were doing something with flashbangs where and I was just,
Yes.
to be quite honest with you, I was spamming the chat. It's just
You can
Just
I
flashbang
get a
Jordy,
kick of that,
man.
right? You know,
Hell
it's
yeah.
I love it, man. It's I love this community so much. But yeah, we'll talk more about that later on.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Let's see who Traveling Man 3775 is here. She's just got back from my daughter's nursing school graduation. She got valedictorian.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations, man.
Nice.
That is a super proud papa right there.
Wow.
Hussein X is here. Let's see. Kensai Gaming VR is here. What is up, dude? We're gonna see Kensai next week in person in Arizona as well. And then Virtual Strangers, Wes has stopped in and says, yo, what is up, Wes? Paul Fennessy is here. Casts of 20s and 30s are here to join us. What is up, everybody? How are we doing tonight? We appreciate it. So yeah, let's get into some stuff, man, because Jose, there's so much to talk about with you. And like I said, I want to just talk VR with you and just hang out as like four people talking VR too. So let's I know that a lot of the community probably already knows you, but maybe there's some that haven't really gotten your backstory. Tell us a little bit about you personally and kind of your path. Like, you've been in the tech for a long time, but like, if you want to pick it up, like, where did you find VR? Where did Jose the VR tech come from? And like, kind of give us like your roundabout to where you are all the way through as founder and CEO now of Reboot Imagine.
Oh man. I'm so glad for that question, first of all. Funny enough, I actually was having a conversation with a few colleagues a few days ago, and people that I've known from before I started my company, and these are people that was talking about VR and mathematically, counting down, I think this is like almost my 10th year from 10 to 12 years involved in the VR space before it was even called the VR
Nice.
industry as we know it today. But yeah, Jose the VR Tech was born in from the ITSM background world. I graduated high school and immediately threw myself into the IT space. I've always been a helper. You know, everybody who's a geek or a tech and they have a non-geeky or tech savvy family, they know that they become, you know, the family technician, right? I grew up in a small island called Puerto Rico. A lot of people know it, but for those, it's a Caribbean island. And I fell in love with technology, and I feel that it was a Trojan horse idea by my parents, right? My dad being a mechanic, I remember one of my earliest gifts was something called the Genius VTAC 5000, which was a uh, learning how to speak English laptop. It came with little kids games, and I learned the English language using that little device. It just made me fall in love with laptops and computers. Unfortunately, that love was a little bit too much to the point that my dad caught me, you know, disassembling it in the room and not being able to put it back together. And he's like, "This is a 6-month-old toy," and helped me put it back together. And ever since then, you know, he started giving me projects by repairing VCRs, radios. You know, that's leading up to starting a professional. Yep, that's
Look at
exactly the
that,
machine
dude.
right there. Um,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Oh man, you just gave me goosebumps. But that is the device that taught me English. It opened up my passion for computers. It also, I remember that it was a Spanish translated device. It was already manufactured in Chinese, and it was the first time I learned what a command line was because I accidentally broke it a few times to the point that I lost the operating system. And being able to kind of see that and figuring out how to actually just write the word start X enable the operating system to turn on. And I'm a 7-year-old, you know what I mean? Like this is 8, 9 years
Yeah.
old, and learning what that meant, you know, just opened up the passion for it. And 2014, I was already working as an IT level 2 help desk technician for an insurance company. I was very active in the IT. Before Reddit, it was Dig. So I was in the IT Dig links and just commenting and sharing, and that eventually became Reddit. And very involved behind the scenes. There was a forum called GBA Temp. GBA Temp was one of the hot spots for the geeky nerds that were working on video game console hacking. And during that time, I remember seeing some posts of people that were doing synchronized LCD displays using the PSP. They were using tools to synchronize them, and somebody was using like immersive experiences where they were doing like localized multiplayer and ad hocing. Somebody was doing 3D stereoscopic screens by having them both, which was what we call now VR, right? It's just we were too dumb at the time to call it VR, right? So there was
Hmm.
another forum, and we know what came up from that, the Oculus and that story that was born from it. But I was very active during the scene when that was happening. As soon as I saw the Kickstarter for the original Oculus, it was kind of the snowball effect, and I convinced my IT leadership at the insurance company that I was working for to throw in almost $10,000 to buy a NVIDIA Titan at the time, to also buy and back the two Oculus at the
Wow.
time. And that turned they actually end up getting one. The IT director did not like the investment that he made. He was very upset. I don't like this stuff. And and I was like, oh, you can sell it back to me, buy it refurbished and we'll find a way.
Hmm.
And that's how I got my very first development headset. And I fell in love with the industry. I started looking for work, started trying to find a pathway in there. Unfortunately, the realities of being in IT and also being part of an emerging industry, and also the realities of not being cool enough to be in the West Coast working with the tech people, and always seeing that invisible fence that didn't allow me to get there. And I'm a brainstormer. I'm a very ambitious person. I started figuring out, how do I get into the VR industry if all I have is, my technical skills, my ability to build things and communicate, because I'm a technician, right? I'm helping customers on the daily. How do I incorporate all that into getting myself into the VR industry? My passion for video games. I was like, where does the VR industry isn't dominating right now? And I started looking at arcades, the location-based world. Um, that led to me talking to a company called Box Blaster at the time that was building multiplayer VR experiences. And that led to me reaching out to them and being annoying. We're talking about
Mm-hmm.
every other day. Say, hey, I see that you're a startup. I see what you guys are doing, and you're making mistakes here, 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 here. I'm a technician. I can do this. Give me a shot. Give me a shot. And they were a startup in Canada. You know, I'm in I'm in Miami when this is happening. So they're hesitant. They're like, who are you? We see that you're smart enough. You love this industry, but you don't have that side. And I was like, just give me a shot. And they fortunately did. There was an event called the Amusement and Arcade Association Gala that happens in Chicago. And it was to showcase their technology and get investors and build that up. I was tasked to just help them set up a booth. That's it. Right. So hey, and it was a gala, right? So that you couldn't bring a giant structure into a restaurant venue.
Right.
Um, and I thought out the box. I was like, wait, are we putting up a laptop in a headset? Absolutely not. I went to IKEA and I remember buying a foldable lamp stand, and I actually made a makeshift VR station. And I made it look beautiful. And that I remember I was so impressed with myself. Little did I know is that I was so happy that I was seeing people use what I built for them on the fly, that I was never thinking to myself that the people that brought me there were fundraising. And that led to like, hey, Jose, thank you so much. You helped us. Hey, we fundraise. We have, you're part of the company. And I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
And that led to me getting involved with the product and building it and falling in love with VR and being a part of it this time. And I haven't looked back ever since.
Yeah, I think you talk about your tech background and you're part of that and like how you built yourself up, but to me, a lot of this with you and I've known you really well now for over a year, and part of this for you and what attracts me to people like you and how you do these things is your personality. It's not just about I'm a tech and I can do this for you, I can do that for you. It's how you to me it's more how you interact with people and how you treat people and like and what you bring and your tenacity of getting yourself into the industry for me is what is one of the biggest things. I mean, you are extremely bright at what you do, but to me, it's the way you deal and you deal with people and you talk to people and you exude yourself, you exude your personality to the point where they want to believe in you and they do, and then you pay off and you do the things that you're supposed to do. That's to me how you got yourself into these things because you have to push, right? You're not the people are not going to hand you things here, and that's what you probably found out early on is I need to like kick some doors in here to make this work.
Yeah, and it's also very important to be aware of that reality, right? That's something that I really struggled for the first few years of starting the company, leading even to very recently, right? The reality is that exactly nobody's ever going to give you the opportunity that you're built and designed to handle, because there's always going to be somebody who is going to find an excuse, an answer, a reason to just not give you the opportunity. And that's exactly what led for me to carry myself always at 100%. I think it's incredibly important to ensure that you don't have a conversation with anyone in this industry. You also inspire. You also give them a little bit of yourself. I one of the things that I carry about myself a lot is I am Latino. I'm a very proud Latin. And the Latin we created the soap opera. Right, we
Yeah.
are dramatic and we are engaging and we're telling a story. I am building a company that we always hear people going like, oh man, we're just waiting for the company that's building technology in a cul-de-sac. And I'm like, have you not guys seen my pictures? I am literally surrounded by gadgets and technologies. And then I think to myself, as like, they're finding a reason to not give me that opportunity. They're
Mhm.
finding a reason to communicate in their heads. It's like, man, this person is not in a cul-de-sac. He doesn't have a picture from the 1970s going like this. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reality. It's I'm a different flavor of what inspiration looks like, and that's unfortunately a threat. I have, long hair. I'm very energetic. I'm very proud of the community that I'm a part in. I love working with people. I love collaborating. Um, that's a threat. Imagine dedicating, your whole life to a 9 to 5, being incredibly smart, going to the Yale universities, the Harvards, and then you see somebody that looks like me being loud and energetic and showing you what the future looks like. It hurts. It hurts. It's a threat, and it's very difficult to enjoy it, because you also unfortunately cannot have empathy if you're building something. And if you have empathy and you care, it's very hard to revel in the fact that I'm a threat. It's hard to revel on the fact that I'm a benchmark, that I am inspiring people, that we're building a new type of approach to building companies, to building um, what inspiration looks like in this industry.
Yeah, and I think that I mean, I'll let you speak for it, but I would imagine that was the reason you decided to make your own company at that point, right? I'm not going to wait around for anybody else to help me get to where I want to be. I'm going to make my own company, get to where I want to be, and do my own things. What was that transition like? When was the realization that you were like, what year was it? Was the realization that I need to do this on my own, and I'm going to start to bring in some great people to help me do it?
Oh man, the pandemic.
Yeah,
And
it was right
and
around
when I say
COVID.
the
Yeah.
pandemic, the 2020s, I'm not really talking specifically the pandemic itself, but an event that happened during that time frame. My father, who I just mentioned earlier, was one of the biggest inspirations. Very healthy, the complete opposite of me. We're talking about mechanic, traditional Latin guy, building stuff, healthy. I remember getting a call one day. I was already building box blasters. I mentioned earlier, where company was growing, becoming very successful, and the pandemic was starting to get to the height around that time. And my father got diagnosed with terminal cancer just out of nowhere. He got dizzy.
Mm,
They told him, "Hey, he has literally 2 months left to live," and
wow.
it was literally from super healthy to having a 2-minute memory frame. And it was drastic. It was catastrophic for me. It was disruptional during a pandemic. So I couldn't
Yeah.
even be with him in his final moments. I couldn't be there for the emergency treatments. There was no way for me to be there with him during all that. And I had a really interesting blessing in disguise. I was working for a company that I mentioned earlier, and they furloughed. Remember, the pandemic hit, so they
Mm,
furloughed 95% of their staff. Like, everybody was furloughed, everybody was gone except me. The company decided to say, Jose, you're the technician. You're the one who allows our products to not just come back to life, but when the industry wakes up, you're going to take care of them. Right. And
mhm,
on top of that, I love doing so much that I allowed them to build new marketing mechanics. I was actually the pioneer of the on-demand XR IT services and support. Right. So when I started providing on demand, they were using that to say, hey, our products have 24/7 support. So I started realizing and connecting the dots, and that ego break, losing my father, seeing myself as the sole male in my family, and the psychology and ego that's built, unfortunately, from that, really made me not be happy with being told that a company was cutting everybody out except for me, because that's not what you do in a company. Instead, you say, I really wanted to be told, Jose, this is bad for all of us. This is what we're going to do. Where is your heart in this? And I would have said, hey, cut my salary in half, give me equity. Let's build this company. Um, that didn't happen. I even remember trying to engage that conversation. Oh, no, business. And I was like, okay, losing my father was a wake-up call for me. I was like, wait a minute, who am I living for?
mm.
One of the final things that I remember that I would love to share here is that kind of inspired me to become better than what I am, is a final moment that I had with him, where I told him I was going to make a joke, honestly, with him to make him laugh. I remember telling him, remember him telling me, he was actually expressing to me in a window of the time they had, that he goes, I I want help. And he looks at me, he goes like, can you help me? Can you get in my brain and fix me? My own father said that to me. And then I go like that. I was going to make a joke and I said, I would help you here, but the problem is I'm a computer technician, not a brain technician, right? And so that was the joke that I was going to say to him. And I go like, Dad, you know what the problem is? And he goes, that you're a really good son. He cut me off for that moment. I was like it was just like, I don't know. It was the moment that like,
Mm.
okay, this is the end of Jose Santiago.
Time to change.
And this is the beginning of Jose Santiago, right? And I remember calling Laura, my CEO at Reboot Imagine now at the time, and expressing to her directly my thoughts, my feelings, my anger, my complete loss felt way bigger than it was, to the point that anything that I have done my entire life meant nothing. Like absolutely nothing. I wanted to build something for myself. I wanted people to be inspired and build something just like I was, right? Because my father was a nobody, you know what I mean? So being able to carry the same name as him, it really woke up something in me. And that's where Reboot Imagine was born. I I was like, what are my skills? What are the superpowers? What does this company have that I'm providing that I can expand on? And I was like, support, installations, deployment, confidence, right? The conversations you have with people that are building in this industry, it's what I love the most. Dee, you mentioned it earlier, but before in the green room, but you said that one of your first experiences with VR was in an arcade.
Mhm.
I experienced this quite a lot. I get people that come to me and say, my first experience, was, zero latency or the void back in the day, or in realizing how important it is for these arcades to realize that they're not just building entertainment, but they're pioneers of showing what the future looks like, right? In the 1920s, they had literal carnivals where people be like, come meet the world's tallest man. This is the world's first, microscope and telescope. And we need that in this generation. We need people to realize we are influencers, every single one of us. If you love a product, if you love the technology, and you know that there is a communication barrier, we have to learn and expand. And that's where Reboot Imagine was born, really.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
a great story. Yeah.
I do want to touch on one thing, because
Yes.
you started to speak about it earlier. When Jay Dunn from Getting Things Done is in chat, and he said, being a person of color in this space is still very hard in the XR space. It's really it's a reality me and my wife deal with more than most know. And then he said, you can be excellent and incredible at what you do, but still not to be allowed in the door. And I just find this baffling that
It
we
is.
are in a forward-thinking technology industry, that we still have these idiotic, stupid, beliefs or stereotypes, or however, whatever you want to call it, that we are still having to deal with these things in such a time
Yeah.
where we're in virtual
Unbelievable.
reality. And absolutely, the color of your skin in virtual reality can mean anything. You can be a cat in virtual
There you
reality. You
go.
could be a dog in virtual reality. You can be a
Right.
woman if you're a man if you're a woman. You could be black, you can be white. It doesn't matter what you are, and we're still having to deal with these things. Is it because some of the people that are owning most of these things are the older society still?
Funny enough, that was how I originally came into this when I started the company, through learning a lot. That's where my mindset was at. And as I had more conversations, and Jadon is one of the people I talk to about this quite a bit. And I'm very glad that he brought up that subject, and you're embracing the conversation about it. The reality is, it's not really the sayers, it's the tall grass that VR enables, right? You just said it yourself, we can be anything we want,
Mm.
which means that there's two kind of people that exist in that world. There's the people who are so in love with the soul that the capsule of the soul is meaningless, right? Transhumanism is a beautiful thing, in the VR industry enables that very well. But transhumanism also allows for the people who judge others for the way that they look, that disparage others for the way they look, to also riddle themselves and hide into it. I have met more, unfortunately, racist transhumanists than I
Really?
wish I could admit. And
Wow.
it's not intentional. I know these people. These are great kids. They love the concept of being a cat person, right? They want to be an anime girl. Good for them. But there has to be the soul does have color, right? I mentioned before, where did my passion come from? There's no founder in the VR industry that was born in the island of Puerto Rico, that was born into the situation that I was born in, and didn't build the tenacity that only I have, right? The inspiration has to have a story, and the story has to be unique, right? And unfortunately, especially for the reality of the world, is that people that look like me, people of color and minorities, they haven't had their heyday, their moment in the spotlight, where a lot of people in this industry have had it, right? Let's talk brass and knuckles. I've been in this industry for 10 years. A lot of people know who I am. You can ask anybody in the VR space as high as you want to go and ask them who else, Jose Antonio Santiago Rivera is, Jose the VR Tech, and they're going to know who I am. I know them, and they don't acknowledge me publicly. They will never acknowledge me publicly. And it goes right back to it, is what I represent. Do you want somebody this free, this optimistic, this energetic, this person who is really not in the industry for money, to be allowed to have a platform where he's championing the actual industry, where he's championing the actual headsets, and he's not locking himself into one specific product or interest? It's a threat. It's a threat. Think of the early 90s when Dell came in, Compaq came in. The Michael Dell was seen as a threat, and yet look what Dell is today, right? I pay attention to history. I pay attention to what's happening right now. And the people who are paying attention to the story closer than anyone don't want that freedom to be championed just yet.
That's crazy.
Nice. I just want to say goodnight to Gamertag VR. He's saying goodnight to everybody in chat. And dude, thanks for coming by. We know it's like super in the middle of the night.
3 o'clock in the morning for him.
Yeah, it's 3 o'clock in the morning over there. So thank you for being here, man. We appreciate it, GT, and
most definitely.
We'll see you soon.
Go to bed and watch us on TikTok.
Yeah, Gamertag. I think he's going. I think Gamertag's going to take a quick vacation. I think he's going to no crewcast coming this week, because I think he's gonna take a well-deserved little break, man. He needs it.
Absolute legend, man. Like, by the way, yeah. I love the aesthetic. Anybody who has like the VR cyberpunk aesthetic, like that's the way to get me in it. Gamertag, he has that. I love the aesthetic. I'm a sucker for it.
He is. He's got it. He's got it going on.
Mugs. So I would love to get one.
Hell yeah. Love it. Thanks for coming by, dude. We appreciate it. Yeah, I think this is a fascinating conversation, Jose. I really do, just because it's amazing that we're still here. And, kind of what I heard from you there a little bit too, is maybe it's not always a color thing. Maybe it's a cultural thing too.
Yes.
It's not just what you look like, but it's where you're from or how you were brought up. And, and that can be a scary thing when we get into these things sometimes, especially when you're right. I think a lot of people don't realize it when they do it. Or maybe it's not a malicious thing, but they do it anyway and don't understand it or don't know about it, especially younger people.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate bias, and I think to be inspired, you have to see a little bit of yourself in a person, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't have enough imagination to see themselves outside of the skin, right? And that's it plays to the favor, right? Because one thing that I learned is, as I continue growing, people get older. I will get older. And strength, you get weaker as you get older. And holding the door, that requires a lot of strength. I'm a very strong boy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to continue pushing, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm here to prove the reality of it all, right? There is racism. Yes, there's people that are going to disparage me for how I look, for where I come from. but it's all noise. It's all noise. It's
Good for
all
you.
noise. It's
Yeah.
very loud noise, right? It's so loud that people like Jadon feel like they don't have a place in this space, right? It's so
Yeah.
loud that he really believes in his heart that he's not being put in the rooms that he needs to be in. What he doesn't realize is that he's building the room.
Right.
We are the room. We are the industry, right? A lot of companies, like just today, 2 companies got announced that VR industry is very loud. You guys can do the research yourself. I saw one that were calling themselves virtual reality mercenaries, and I saw another one that called themselves on-demand installation fleets. And I'm like, on-demand services and support.
Yeah,
I am
right.
influential. Like I'm honored. I am. But don't get me wrong. I messaged those founders. I messaged them and
Yeah,
I was like,
do it.
hey, look who I am.
Been there.
I know what you're doing. Thank you so much for showing me the support. I wish you would have shown it differently because I'm very smart. I have an incredible team. We have built things that no company can deliver at the cost that we're delivering. And the reason that I'm delivering at those costs is because I love to do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that idea, man. I have literally relinquished my reality to the fact that there's going to be 2 options, and am either going to be known as Jose the VR Tech, the founder and CEO of a very, very profitable and well-known global company in the XR and IT space, or one of the most brightest and most fun and coolest homeless technicians you will ever see in your life. Right?
You can be like, hey, look at that guy in the corner. He's awesome.
Oh, dude, I'm going to be out there championing VR headsets because I know that at the end of the day, these billion-dollar companies are going to be like, man.
Yep.
You know, I
love
love
it.
it. I
love
really
it.
do love the forced inspiration that I cause. It's just very difficult sometimes to consume it and digest it because bills do come, payrolls
Sure.
do exist.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Institutions need to support and not just own, right? And a lot of people see that, and once again, they don't see inspiration. They see what does this person have, and why does he have it? One of my employees, my recent employees, worked at a former company that now sees me as a competitor, and that employee told me to my face, he said, that CEO, when they met me the first time, we're talking about 2 years ago, that CEO looked at his team and said, how does somebody like Jose get a client that's worth 6 digits? Not why, not, hey, how do we work with them? How do we collaborate with them? How do we find a way to build with him because he figured something out? No, it's how does he have it because they want it, to the point that I had to cut the relationship because they literally started boasting that they're doing the same thing, and the story is not the same. The background is not the same. The inspiration is not the same. You just said it yourself. You gotta love the person that's showing you the technology, and that cannot be replicated. It just can't.
Absolutely. I think your passion absolutely drives you and thrives you, and it lights the fire for you that gets you to go where you want to go, because this is hard work. I mean, if you didn't have
Mhm.
the passion, I mean, and you have to build, right? I mean, you're self-made. You're not, nothing was given to you. You have to go out and get these things. And there has to be passion involved. And if there isn't, you can tell, and people can tell, and you'll never be anybody to back you up or be behind you or work with you if they think you're fake, and you're not fake in
Exactly.
any way. I mean, you're probably one of the most real people I know, and I love what you said, and Tribe Grey Wolf said, and I think this needs to be on a shirt somewhere. We are the room.
We
Yeah,
are the
There
right.
room.
you go, dude.
We
I love it.
truly are. We really are. And this goes beyond, and I really mean this, it really goes beyond. And that's the reason why I personally go out of my way not to see it as a black and white thing. I really do. I really have the context. I have the experience. I've had the relationships. I've fostered relationships behind the scenes with people that told me to my face that, oh, don't talk to this person. They don't like people like you, right? And when you start building the relationship, you find out, oh no, this person is not racist. He's just ignorant. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Right.
And being able to see that beautiful difference is how you start building and fostering and forging those relationships. I Yeah,
And educating, because you're right. A lot
it's
of people,
yeah.
they're just ignorant about it. They're not doing it on purpose to be assholes or, or
Mhm.
whatever, but they're just either that's how they were brought up, that's where they're from, that's just all they know. The excuses could be millions, but they're just ignorant. They need to be
They're
taught.
just ignorant.
Yep.
You know
Well,
who's
And the
not
important
ignorant
thing too is how
and
do you
who's
educate people, right? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I got to do my thing. Hang on. You know who's not ignorant and who's in chat is Orland Hooper, Todd. Orland Hooper's in chat,
But
yo.
adding right back to that is how do you educate people about these broken gears in communication and empathy and relationship building? And for me, it's inspiring. It truly is inspiring. I really I spent way too much time trying to talk to people about, hey, like this is how things should be. But instead, you just gotta continue inspiring. You gotta continue
Mhm.
just, oh, you don't, oh, you're trying to take something away from me. You know what? I don't need it. Let's keep chugging along. And people hate that. People hate it. Once again, I have had people to my face that I could tell that they're preying upon my downfall. And they'll never see me tune a sad tune ever. Like I'm talking about ever. I will continue, we invented something called reggaeton. It's drum and bass. It's very fluent in Caribbean. That's how my heart beats. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So cannot be toned down. It will never be toned down. I am here to be successful, whether it be successfully building a company or successfully in relationships and inspiration and allowing people to really understand how this technology works and realizing that we are entering an industry where people are going to tell you what technology to buy, how to buy it, what are the best use cases. We're here. I'm here for it.
And you are, and let's talk a little bit about that because
Yes,
you are
please.
there for it, and just tell us a little before we kind of. I want to move into some topics, but before we kind of move, I
Yes,
want to
please.
talk a little bit about Reboot Imagine and just kind of a little bit about what you do because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that just don't, we know you're Jose the VR tech, but the company that you have created, which is Reboot Imagine, and the team that you've put together.
Mhm.
And the system, the systems that you have in place, and tell us a little bit about the company and what it does and what do you guys do there?
Awesome. So my company is called Reboot Imagine. We're a turnkey solutions company for spatial computing and XR. The best way to describe it is we're really smart mercenaries to get the project done, right? So if you call me and say, Jose, I have this crazy idea. I want to get a water slide with VR headsets. And when you get off the water slide, you'll fall into a foam pit and you put on the VR, whatever it may be, we make it happen, right? If you want to build an arena or a whole arcade, right? We get clients that say, I want this, this, and this, and this, and this. And we go like, all right, we'll deliver it. That's what my company does, and we do it very well. There's a lot of companies that have existed in the space that build arcades, but they build arcades with a specific interest in mind, right? They
Mhm.
say, hey, these are our putt-putt golf, these are our machines. We don't do that. We actually listen to what the client wants. Either we build it or we find it for them. We give them 3 quotes. It gives them the confidence. It gives them the ability to say, this is the best of what I could get. Right. And sometimes that may be the cost. Sometimes that may be the team behind it. That sometimes may be the development resources and the scalability of a product. But all of that is important. In this industry where everybody's trying to sell you something, how confident are you dropping $100,000 on a commercial, 6-player VR arena? You have to, there's a lot of barriers there, right? And you're not gonna, you shouldn't, well, you can, I guess, but you shouldn't trust the person that's trying to sell you that, right? Because they're going to give you the magic answers. Oh, this is 100% worth the experience.
Mhm.
$100,000 goes, da, 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 da. But then you start asking the questions that my company, because I've been on both sides of the industry, I get to ask. What does your 5 years look like? What is your investment on this? Hey, the client is overpaying for the hardware. What is the hardware going to be upgraded? What does repairs look like? What does the resources for scalability look like? Implementation, or even more important, what do I do if the product that I just purchased is not effective? We get that quite a bit. We get clients that want to build, one project I did recently is we had a client that wanted 12 omnidirectional treadmills. and he had a vision in mind, saying, "Ready Player One," and I'm like, I'm a builder, I'm an activator, I'm a person that you tell, hey, I want some. You want 12 treadmills, my guy? How do you want them? Wireless? Let's build it. Which, and unfortunately, you can only build so much until you actually deliver it and the client realizes, oh man, I got omnidirectional treadmills that are wireless and they're operational, they're the way I want them, but this requires what everybody knows about omnidirectional treadmills is that they require people to help you get it set up. Okay? And they didn't like that. And sometimes you have to ensure that the clients know, hey, that's an L, but hey, guess what you can do with those omnidirectional treadmills? You can refurbish them. The computers, you can use them to build esports stations. We can make wireless pods. That's the beauty of when you buy technology with a confident team behind it that's supporting you, right? If you buy, let's say, I don't know, let's talk about cars so that way I don't mention companies. But if you go to a Honda dealer and you buy the Honda and then you realize that Honda suck, and you go to the Honda dealer, you're like, yo, like Honda suck, you should have sold me Mitsubishi. And the guy goes like, I'm a Honda dealer. What? Like, like what? Like, and that's the problem with this industry. And that's where a lot of my company's threat comes from, is we give confidence to buyers in an emerging industry. That's scary, right? But the problem is, how long has the VR industry been here? How many times has it restarted? Which means that companies came out of the woodwork and started selling trash.
Yeah,
There's
promises.
no quality assurance, and it kills the VR industry.
Yep.
I'm a product of the 80s, even though I'm a 90s kid. I saw the death of the arcade. I am a console, but I'm also an arcade lover. I don't want that to happen again for the VR industry. I don't want that. I don't want a VR head. I don't, it's important that the companies that are out there doing what I'm doing are ethical about it. And I have conversations with leadership at Meta and HTC sometimes, and it's concerning. It's concerns like, yo, Jose, like, why are you posting a picture with a Pico and an HTC and a Focus 3? Like, we're different companies. And I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
You
it's all VR.
Are two-based chipsets. You all are offering up multiple different experiences, and you all have amazing superpowers in what those superpowers are. That does not mean I'm going to be blindly supporting a product every time. And
and it's amazing. Like some of these players are monsters in in the industry for for LBE or for location based VR. HTC, they're not what we consider a powerhouse in the consumer market, but they are the largest headset company for every location based VR. So I mean, whether we think they're a force here with us, maybe they aren't, but they are a force in location based VR, which is, and it's a $1 billion industry.
Yeah, it also comes down, and that's exactly where superpowers come in, right? I will never, to be quite transparent, I will never recommend a Quest device or a Pico device for commercial or location based, because the reality is that HTC is providing the tools and the mechanisms for commercial entities to buy these products, right? Think about warranty, repairs. If you break your Quest and you run it into a wall, they're not going to give you a refund. It's a home product. Why do you run into your wall? But HTC does have the frameworks for that because they're a commercial product. It costs more money. There's a lot of mechanisms behind it, but that's the confidence of buying a product. Same thing with mobile device management, right? HTC offers an amazing mobile device management, but I would never recommend HTC's mobile device management because it only covers HTC products. So my recommendation would be a mobile device management that actually, encapsulates every single VR headset. And that's what my company does. We actually find what works, and that's what we recommend. We don't just blindly recommend a product.
It's good that you guys are doing such a good job and being able to pivot. So like you said with the treadmill thing where, you do all this work, you ship all the products, and then you're like, you know what, this isn't going to work like we thought it was going to work. And we know about this, right? So it is like, well, now what the hell do we do with all this shit? Well, here you got option A, option B, option C, option D. We'll take it back. Whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
It's a
this
smart
is
way
what
to
we're gonna
do
do.
it.
Like, it's
It's a
great.
smart way to do it, to
Incredibly smart. It's
cater to what their
confident.
needs are. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you again, you can't blindly just go into a place and say, "This is what you're gonna get, and this is what's gonna work." You have to
And if it doesn't
know
work,
what
fuck
their
you.
needs
Too
are.
bad.
Exactly. Yeah, and especially
Yeah.
because, I mean, I don't know if people know, like, Jose, I mean, some of these systems, some of these VR experiences are hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Cha-ching.
So, like, how are you a company that goes in and you get built in and you buy one of these arena-based, VR experiences that's 150,000 or 200? They used to be probably in the 500,000s. They've come down,
Yeah,
but
I was
still,
about to say that. Yeah,
yeah.
actually, the 100,000 are, believe it or not, the ones that are using low level hardware.
Mhm.
Like I think I don't want to mention names, but I think there's like I think the most affordable one is 6 literal Quest 2s, a rug and a computer and a server and a
I can do
router.
that.
And yeah,
Wow.
I can do that right now.
anybody really can.
50
And I
grand
believe
right
that
now.
they're asking for about $60,000.
That's crazy.
It's
Wow.
and don't get me wrong, they are building amazing automation. They're
Mhm.
building great experiences. But as a business owner, as somebody who's making an investment on on hardware, on real estate, it's very difficult to buy a $15,000 literally a headset, right? So it's
Mhm.
especially when
And
you
that's
can
why I
just
think a
buy
lot of
them a
these
Best Buy for
LBE
200 or
companies are
something.
going broke too, right? All the new startups, and especially down in the States. Up here, we don't see a lot of them, but down in the States, everybody thinks, oh, this is a great idea. Let's jump into VR. Let's do LBE. There's tons of warehouses empty now. There's tons of space to do this. And then they get a $300,000 bill from a company that isn't like Reboot Imagine, and the
Yeah.
shit doesn't work like they thought it was going to
I
work.
love
And now
those,
they're
to be
going
honest.
bankrupt. And now, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
Jose wants to come in and be like the rescue. I'll come in and help
right?
you
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Like, it's
I
just
love to
snowballs
be
and
honest with you,
snowballs.
I get those a lot. I
Yeah.
Mhm.
get them quite a bit. Like, shout out to Skiva, right? Skiva,
Mhm.
the way that me and Skiva built a relationship was because people were coming to him. He was involved with some companies in the LBE space, and they would be like,
Mhm.
"Hey, who do you know that can do this very well? This person is going to be like a $400,000 quote," and they go to Jose. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's actually somebody who really helped me find that DNA for that my company required in order to become the company it is today.
The framework of what you
It's
needed
confident
to,
adoption.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
really important,
Filling that
especially for,
void.
yeah, it's so important. And the analogy that I use with all my clients, it's and if anybody uses this to try to lock a client, I'm gonna know because I'm the one who uses it. But one of my sales tactics is, these are most people that are building arcades. You said yourself, a warehouse that they have empty, they usually have quite a bit of capital.
Mhm.
They have enough capital to say, oh man, I have a few warehouses and this and that. And I tell them, like, there's going to be a moment where this wealthy client is going to say, I just spent $150,000 trying to build this. I could have just bought myself a Ferrari.
Right.
Right? How do I ensure that that person never, ever, ever gets to that thought process?
Right.
And it's, what does purchasing a Ferrari provide you? They give you it's a unique experience. It's yours. You get to champion your vehicle, right? That's what Ferrari, there's the insurance. If something happens to it, we're going to, that's what my company does. And that's what we provide is, how much are you willing to invest to make sure that the money that you're investing is going towards success, right? That's more than the experience. And we get those kinds of clients all the time. We get clients that really go like, I can do that myself. I can follow directions. I'm really good at marketing with only 12 followers. You know what I mean? There is a lot of importance in every single pillar in the adoption process, and that's what my company does. So to kind of close this part of it all, that's really what Reboot Imagine is. We're a confident adoption company. How much are you willing to be confident in your venture, in your experience, in your product, in your activation? That's me. A lot of people think about building amazing experiences. That's not enough. You need to understand, how do you get a client in there? Insurance, quality assurance, right?
Mhm.
All of those things often don't get thought about. And my company's dedicated to do that. So if there's any companies out there that are building amazing products, people who are building amazing games or activations, yes, 100% you can do it on your own. but you're wasting your time. You're wasting your resources. You are creators. You are inventors. My company is in, created by an inventor and an engineer and somebody who knows the realities of that. And we built the resources for you. We have research and development channels. We have seminars behind the scenes. A lot of people know who I am, right? So I get these people on one-on-ones. I connect people all the time. I have worked for companies like HTC and Oculus and Meta. I have, I can't talk about it. I'm under NDA, you know what I mean? But ask around about me. People will immediately tell you. So that's kind of my rally call is if you're a developer, a creator, a designer, anybody who's making a product and you really want people to adopt your experiences with confidence, Reboot Imagine.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And go check them out, guys. Task dropped the link in chat.
Yep.
Go check the website out. You'll see all about Reboot Imagine, and there's so much going on there. And yeah, absolutely.
I love talking to people. Like I love doing this. Like I really mean it. I love getting DMs and just don't try to sell me something. Like I really
exactly.
Unfortunately I shut people like that down. But I love talking this industry, so I'm here for it.
Which you do like every other Saturday on F Reality, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But let's get we're about an hour and 15 minutes in. Let's give a key away. Let's give a key away. We actually have I know we haven't given a lot of keys away lately, but we got a key to give away. Todd and Dee. We're going to give a key away to a game that I think is just about to come out. We got like a little bit of a trailer for it. I actually haven't played it yet myself. I have a key. I just haven't had a chance to do it. And the developers gave us a couple keys to give away. And I haven't heard anything about this game, so this will be the first time for me even
play a little bit of their. I don't know if it's really a trailer or just more of gameplay footage.
Yeah, let's take a quick look.
But while I'm getting the wheel ready, we'll have a look.
Sure.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Interesting.
I was just here jamming.
I love the music in the trailer. That is kick ass. Interesting. It looks like you know what it reminds me of. Remember we talked like a month ago about Rival Rides. This looks like a more tricked out Rival Rides.
Yeah,
like
almost.
It looks like if you can shoot stuff in Candyland, this would be it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm actually seeing more in the trailer. Like this isn't it's not a trailer. This is just gameplay. If it's a trailer, it's the longest fucking trailer I've ever seen.
I know. I'm looking at it's not even halfway over.
It's a 3-minute and 37-minute trailer. They might have went overboard in the trailer, but it looks pretty cool. I mean, Sugar Mess is the name of the game, but in the beginning, it looked like there was like some kind of game board. Did you see that? It looked like it was like a game board that you would like, there it is. They showed it again.
It looks like maybe that's like the Candyland.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Like a level selection using Candyland or something like that. Yeah.
It looks interesting. All right, let's give a key away to this. I have a key. I'll have to put it in our account so we can all try it. But it looks super interesting. But yeah, I got Rival Rides feels, but like a way more fleshed out version of like a Rival Rides.
It looks very interesting. Graphically looks better.
Cool. Let's give a key away, and then I want to get into some topics because there's, like I said earlier, there's a lot of shit going on, and we're gonna like fire through some of these because I have a lot of them. We haven't done a wheel, D. We haven't done a wheel in a while.
I know. We haven't.
We didn't do one. I don't think we did one last week, and we didn't do one when Todd wasn't here.
Nope.
Paul Fantasy says my grandson would love that. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's definitely the market, right?
Yeah. Bacardi B says, yo, I'm late. What's up, Bacardi B? Hijack Gaming is here. What's up?
All right, let's give Key away.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You guys need a wheel on F Reality, Jose.
Yeah, honestly, this is honestly, I'm here just like at the mercy of like professionals. I'm like, wow, now this is a production.
Hell yeah, man! You guys, a wheel on F Reality would be amazing. Put Zip's face right in the middle of it.
I love it.
I can whip it together in like 5 minutes, man.
Oh, there we go. There it is. Send it over.
Chatty,
congratulations, Chatty, on a cool looking game. Let us know how it is next week, yeah, or give us a heads up in chat in the comments after the show of what you thought about it. And we do have a key to give away. We'll draw that in a little bit for Among Us from the comments of last week's show. Among Us got their new map last week that we get in and played, and
that's it for the wheel D. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
All right.
Wheel. Let's talk. I'm going to move around a little bit because we talked about Among Us, dropping a map, and what I want to talk about now is Jose, Roblox, Jose D and Todd. I would like everybody's take on this. Roblox, dropped last week, like out of nowhere. Like we knew it was coming. Was that for Roblox?
Yeah, it's for Roblox. I'm super pumped about that.
So we knew it was coming. Like we knew Roblox was coming. That was announced, but like they just drop it out of nowhere. Like we didn't know the date, and all of a sudden, like, you can get Roblox today. And I'm like, what the? Okay. So everybody went and they tried to download it, and it was a bit of a mess, a little bit, and it's not perfect. It's App Lab, it's not Quest Store. But guys, well over 1 million downloads in 1 week.
I think what a lot of people don't understand about Roblox VR is Roblox isn't responsible for developing the VR portion of Roblox. It's up to every individual developer for the mini game that you go in. So you could go into some that are fucking amazing, and you can go to some that are janky as shit, and then people are shitting all over Roblox. It has nothing to do with them. They just provide the platform. There's 9 million developers in Roblox.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter goes into stuff all the time at Roblox, and I'm like, what in the crap are you playing? But then I know some people that go in there and they get in there and do like battle royale games in there.
Oh yeah, man! I've had an account since 2017.
Really?
Yeah, me and my kids play it all the time. It's awesome. It's cross-platform.
What do you think?
You can play it on your phone. You can play it on your tablet. You can play it on your computer. Like, it's awesome.
Is that cross-play with VR people?
Yeah.
So VR people are playing with flat people.
You can do that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I really think that the unannounced timing to be honest with you, I'm very excited what Roblox has proven, and I really don't think that Roblox is going to be the killer app. Now more than ever, I think that the reason that Roblox got announced on App Lab is the incoming Connect. I think on Connect we're going to see, and I talked to people behind the scenes. Horizons is coming. You know what I mean? Like they're looking at what are the weaknesses of all of these people that are building worlds, and they're going to throw their giant cash bags at it. And how do you build a better incentives of over 9,000 developers? It's to give them millions of dollars to all 9,000
9 million developers.
Yes, they're going to have we're going to see financial incentives, and this is where it gets very interesting. Is what's the weakness of Roblox, of VR chat? It's that it was companies that incepted way too big, and they were also running under the radar for way too long, right? And that allowed for people to become really good at it, to build tools, to build experiences. But when it came to open up the green light to mainstream, it opened up conversations about age restriction, who has the accounts, privacy, parental controls. It's just too many problems that you have to address, where the key to making a platform that is being allowed to be thrown that big bags of money must have it addressed from the very beginning. So I think that what we're about to see is the re-release of a Horizon Worlds with financial incentives, corporate brand support, right? The mechanisms that these companies are now embracing, right? The age requirement. And I think that Roblox is just a business friendly move by the Meta team. They're like, hey,
Well,
you know, we I don't think it will look good for Meta to release a straight up competitor to VR chat and Roblox
mhm,
without allowing VR chat nor Roblox on their platform.
right.
In Rec Room, and it just won't it won't look good for Meta at
Yeah.
all.
And
And
I think you're right though. I think everything you're saying exactly makes sense. I mean, for them to do that in Horizons because they want it badly, right? They want this to succeed super badly. But the other thing that they want to succeed and they want to turn the numbers around is retention. And they need to get headsets out of closets.
That's right.
And this already with a
It's
million
helping.
downloads in a week has gotten headsets out of closets. That's what it'll do. A thing like Roadblocks, whether however good or however bad you want to think it's going to be, either way, it will pull headsets out of closets, and you just hope that that kind of transitions them into doing some other things in VR and checking out another app or another game or going into something else. You know what I mean? So enjoy Roblox for what it is, and then go try something else. Go play Beat Saber. Wait, no, don't go play
Wait,
Beat Saber.
wait, I was gonna say, are you okay? What,
Go
go
play,
okay?
go play something else. Go play Wanderer. Go hook it up to your, go play Hubris on Quest 2 with that freaking amazing looking game that is. You know what I mean? There, go do, some, go play the Room VR. Go to some of these other experiences off of what Roblox can bring them. And that, to me, I'm not a person who's going to play Roblox. So, am I excited about Roblox personally? No, I'm excited about what Roblox does for VR.
Right.
That's what excites me, and I am all for whatever it can
yeah.
do to help.
And I
And I
love
think
that you
that's what
mentioned games like Beat Saber and The Room. The reality is we have to, we have to also look at it from a hardware requirements perspective, is that both those games that you mentioned were actual 3DOF VR
Mm,
success stories that also allowed for updates. These games are so performance light that whatever the New Horizons engine will release, you're going to see the room not being resold on these app stores, but they're going to become persistent experiences in these ecosystems where you're going to probably have and I talk to people all the time is like I can sell you a quick idea, right? Imagine everybody has tried VR chat before and the concept of it all. Imagine you going into a virtual world and it looks literally like a town, right? So
mhm.
what does a town have? Right? They have their local this and their local that. But you know what? It's going to look really cool is that they're probably thinking about, hey, what makes a town or a city popular? It's their sports team, right? It's their stadium, right? It's their arena, right? So what happens when we start seeing, oh, this virtual world has the Echo Arena in the center of this virtual world that people can literally be, spectators and they're watching people play, or they're watching people play the room. All of these low level, frictionless, first gen, all in one headset VR experiences will be easily replicable by stronger headsets using the cloud and hybrid rendering. Um, I truly believe that's really where Horizons is moving. It makes a lot of sense. It builds retention. It allows their old games and IPs to kind of have a Hall of Fame, a classics world. The reality is that these games will lose the value. They're looking at it right. I think that you won't be able to excuse, let's say, a game like Arizona Sunshine or After the Fall to be costing $30 for an
Mm.
additional more years. These games are incredible. They're amazing experiences, but they're not worth that amount of money anymore. And if we want to build the bigger investments in development, then we're going to have to unfortunately start looking from within and talking to ourselves and saying, is After the Fall really worth $60 still? You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
those kind of questions. And yeah, eventually we're going to have a price mark that we say $5 games are going to all be persistent in this cloud world, and you pay $1.99 a month, and you're in this virtual persistent environment that you can now not just play your games, you can literally be streaming them because everybody can see it.
Yeah, I think cloud streaming is going to be huge in the future. It's not. It's in the near future too. It's not even that far away. And
it's happening already.
yeah, it's amazing. Where we keep thinking like technology is here, but where are we going to be in 2 years? I was talking to Skiva about this today, and I'm like, it's scary to know I know some hardware that's coming that I can't talk about yet that just gonna blow people away. Like things are changing like on the daily, So when I hear news like VR is dead and nobody cares about VR and AR has eaten VR and AR is the new champion, but AR is on a shaky slope and AR might not make it either. And when I can tell you some of the technology that we are going to be seeing very shortly, will blow us all away, and it's going to change the way we play VR or AR. And these things are right around the corner. Like it's almost here.
It's gonna be
I
awesome.
just want to give a quick shout out to
Arcanian.
Arcanian just dropped a key to Super Hot VR, the Steam edition, in the chat. So whoever grabs that, congratulations.
Super Hot is funny enough a game that I think about quite a bit when I envision what we're about to see from virtual worlds, right? Super Hot's a great example, amazing experience, but once again, you're going to reach a point where you say, is this game worth this amount of money? It's not nothing against the experience or the game itself. It's the realities of what can you do in the hardware.
We've actually seen that game on recent top 10 lists.
Yeah,
I don't think it belongs on a top 10 list at all.
I'm with you. I think these games need to be like sunsetted, not sunsetted, but they need to be sunsetted price wise to a point where people can just play them for, like I said, a subscription service or something like that. I think you're absolutely right. Like to me, Super Hot is a great game that I think everybody new to VR should try, but it's not the game where I'm like, you need to go play this because it's amazing today. This was a game that was amazing in 2016. Like there are better experiences that we have today, and God, there better be better experiences, because if there's not, where the fuck are we going? Like if I say today,
it's almost 10 years old.
If I say today that Super Hot is one of the best games that you can play,
that's not a good sign.
That's not good. Okay, that's not good. The game is old. I'm not saying that the game is not good. That's where people get confused. They're like, oh, Eric hates Super Hot. That's not the case. I'm just saying that it was a great game in 2016. It's not a game I would push somebody to go and say, this is what VR is today.
But imagine when it changes everything, when people are playing Super High in the middle of an arena and people are seeing people literally in the middle of a stage being Neo, and people are cheering them. That's what we're about to see. Is we're going to see so many I think what's happening also, it's the maturity of the industry. The VR industry is dead. It truly is. The VR industry did die, but guess what? So did the AR industry. So did the mixed reality industry. This is the spatial industry. This is where everything just moved together, and now you have to look at it from a different perspective. Why does a platform like Roblox get 1 million downloads? Because it's not a game. It is an engine. It is the same thing as buying or downloading a web browser, right? It's just a different way of navigation. It's how we're going to interact with experiences. We're about to get to the era where you're going to press a button and say, hey Siri, I want to play an experience, and I do this and this and this and this and this and this, and it's going to generate it for you, and it's going to be for you. And if you have a great time, you get to share it. And then there's going to be another button that's going to say, hey, do you want to publish this on Roblox, on VR chat, on this and on this and on what have you? That's just an evolution of web browsing development. It's just a different way of looking at these ecosystems, and because they involve human presence, it's very difficult for people to really see what's happening. This is the beginning of clubs and forums. This is the beginning of the actual birth of the metaverse, right? We're going to look at metaverse like towns and cities, and those towns and cities will have their national sport, their artists, their platforms, and those experiences are going to be unique to that, and you're going to be able to jump between them like it's nothing. So it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a bit, but look where everybody's going. Kids are spending more time building something for themselves and sharing it with their friends and actually downloading a game and experiencing it. That's the way it is.
The next 6 months are going to be crazy. So.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And like I said, anything that brings more people into VR and gets headsets out of closets is all good for all of us, whether we like the game or not. Like I said, D, are you like jumping into Roblox? I mean, we talked earlier, I think
Yeah.
we talked earlier about flat gaming and how you're like, it's a passion right now because the experiences are so freaking good, right? But, Roblox is not an experience for me, but I'm happy it's here.
I mean, I wouldn't mind going into it and trying some stuff with someone who like knew the good stuff and where to go and what to do, you know?
It can be
Yep.
intimidating, much like VR chat, where it's just like,
Right.
oh my god, what do I do now? Where do
And
I
I
go?
remember, Jose, you said something about everybody's done VR chat.
You know,
You've
oh
been in VR
man,
chat? D.
man,
Oh,
you
I
D,
got
haven't
good.
done that. I haven't done Neos
She
yet.
hasn't done
There's a lot of
Neos
You
yet.
stuff.
haven't done Neos
Dude, I've
yet?
Oh,
only
God.
been in
dude.
VR for 2 freaking years. Give me some.
Oh, that's it. We're going to Neos tonight. How
Yeah,
dare
Yeah.
I
you?
was gonna
Um,
say
Skiba
honestly, you
just
know
Skiba
who
just
gave me my
passed out in his green room.
experience?
Skiba just was like,
Sorry, Skiba.
he's
Splash
gone. He's
water.
over.
He's out.
Yeah,
Him, if Tribe Grey Wolf was still here, he'd be like howling at you right now.
That's right.
God, give us the Grey Wolf howl.
It's Grey Wolf.
Like a boom, 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 boom.
He's pissed. D, you hear him? I can tell. You got to get into Neos. All right, guys. Next topic: from the birth of Roadblocks to the death of Echo VR.
Echo
Or
VR.
Jose, is it dead?
heck no,
Is it dead?
absolutely not.
It's not dead.
Oh man, like please, it's gonna be. Oh man, like I really am now suspicious, and I think Mark Zuckerberg or boss is gonna be like, rest in peace, Echo Arena, long live Echo Arena, and I have so many things to like. We were just talking about it. They're building retention, and they're one of the games like oh man, I don't want to be mean to people, but the game got killed because it had like a 12 user base, and all of a sudden everybody and their mother came out to like shed a tear for it. It's like,
Mhm.
why weren't you playing it? Like
Right.
like
Or why aren't you buying anything in it? Like, I get you're in there and it's free, but again, it can
Buy
only be
some
free for
skins,
so
buy
long. If,
some-
if
yeah,
you don't go and
exactly.
buy the season pass, or if nobody spends any money in there, who's paying for these things?
Yeah. Big time.
yeah, I really
But I
see. I
could see this
I
being a
don't think they
Horizon
would kill
World
that
game.
game.
I could see
I really see
Horizon
it
World all of a
as
sudden have an Echo VR Arena world inside of Horizon
yes.
Worlds.
I think it's going to be a share. I think it's going to be the first. I think it's going to be the first shared world. I really think. I think they have the venues, right? They built the venues, and they, even though it's all connected, they made sure that you are aware of the venues. Like they're looking at the esports revolution. They're looking at broadcasting. There's this. We're looking at infrastructure for the future, right? They literally renamed their company to Meta, which means that their interests are what the metaverse truly means, which is infrastructure for the future, right? We're talking about how does a caster in a Echo Arena really look like? Not one that's looking at the stream, but somebody who's also a referee. What does actual guidelines look like, right? The Olympics is super interested in VR. What does VR spectating look like? There's a lot of questions that a platform like Echo Arena that apparently has so much love and passion for, yet something was missing to connect all the dots. Horizons might be it. It just makes sense as a creator, as an engineer, as a developer, as somebody who's aware of the technology, pixel streaming and hybrid rendering. It's not just theoretically feasible. It's being done already by major AAA games, right? The Unreal Engine does it very well with Fortnite. They have 100 persistent player matches running every second, right? So this is not just a possibility; it's kind of a reality.
It is. I absolutely think it is. And think of it, it makes sense too, right? Like pull something that's
Mhm.
popular or that a lot of people are playing that you can't really make money on anymore, right? It's not money or make profitable, but it is popular. Take it and put it into something where you're trying to pull people inside of. Make people have to go into Horizon Worlds to go in and
Right.
play Echo Arena, and you do it for free. You don't do any paid seat. You don't have to do anything paid. You could just keep working on it, have servers, in there, and it helps you build horizons because people are in there now and people are in the world, and then they're in to do that, and then they travel to somewhere else, and then all of a sudden
Right.
there's like double the people that are normally in there. And Creeper Betty, how dare you show up this late?
I know,
Dare
right?
you?
Don't you
I almost
yell at
texted her to
her.
say, "What the
How
hell?"
Don't,
dare
no,
you?
don't. No, you better stop. Don't yell at my Betty.
I just wanted to point out something. Our great friends over at Upload VR wrote a great article about Echo and the death of Echo VR, and they spelled Sonia Haskins' name wrong.
Did they really? I didn't even notice. Did they really?
No.
I'm looking right now.
Of all the people, why would
Yeah, I
you
was gonna say that's. Oh man, I might take
type
that
Sony
personal.
Haskins?
Oh my God, they called her Sony
They
Haskins.
called her Sony Haskins.
Oh man,
yeah,
nah, that's,
not
man.
cool.
So, have you ever played Echo Arena against Sonya?
No,
No,
she's
I
too
haven't.
good. I would never even think
Oh
about it. No
man,
way.
you
I
know
can't.
what?
I
Good
couldn't
thing
play
they shut
against
down
the.
Echo Arena. You know what? I don't think anybody should ever be bullied by Sonya in the way that Sonya was bullying people
But
in
when it
Echo
comes to
Arena.
Echo, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we're
No,
talking
she's too damn
about
good.
brutal beatdown, like
Oh yeah,
brutal.
it's too good.
That's made me
I've
love all
seen.
the people
I
that
never
I
played a
know.
lot of Echo. I had some people bring me in there that were like very very good and tried to teach me, and it just lost it on me. It wasn't for me. But I've seen
My
Echo
daughter was a
played.
huge fan. She played a ton of it.
Yeah, I've seen Echo played many times as an esport, and it's
Mhm.
phenomenal to watch.
Yes.
Like I loved actually watching people play Echo, like especially in person and in tournaments. I think it's one of the amazing things, and that's where I think it will be missed a lot is trying to move forward with VR esports. Now, there's other stuff that's going to take its place. There's a dearth of stuff that's coming that you can do. Like they're already looking into we saw 1D, we saw the VRML VRML Con where they had the last Echo tournament. I
Right.
had a blast watching the Ultimex.
Ultimex.
Ultimex for a VR esport was
Yeah.
fantastic. I thought it was more fun than the Echo.
And that's exactly what I'm saying is Echo Arena is more fun to watch.
Mhm.
It's
Then play.
much
For
more
me, it
fun to
absolutely is.
watch than to play.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it absolutely is.
And I don't know if a lot of people can see this, but do you guys know who made the original announcement of the shutdown of Echo Arena?
It was Boz, right? Or no,
Boz?
maybe it wasn't Boz. Who said
It
it? I
No.
was
don't
the
remember.
Horizon Worlds Twitter account.
Oh, nice. Okay. See?
Really? So maybe that's a little bit
I'll say me and you were
inside
thinking. I'm
nose.
telling you, I think we're on the same wavelength. I think this
Yeah.
is
They were the original post about the shutdown announcement. It was I think it's still probably there if the Horizons account is still on Twitter, but they were the first ones who made the announcement for the shutdown. And I found that so suspicious. I was like, why is the Horizons team talking about the sunsetting of another game that has nothing to do with them really at all? You know what I mean? So I found that highly suspicious on a personal level. I was like,
Very interesting.
yeah.
Todd, I'm leaving you a message here. See if you can do this. Can we just play the first couple minutes of that?
I can do that.
Okay. Let's do that. All right, that's gonna be fun. All right, let's. So yeah, I think I'm sad. I'll say goodbye to Echo. I don't think we'll be saying bye for too
Yeah,
long.
I'm not saying bye to
But
Echo. I will never say
Saying
bye to
see
Echo.
you later.
yeah, we'll see you soon.
See you in a
Betty
minute.
says
Yeah.
Betty says roll the clip, Todd. Betty, you don't even know. You don't even know, Betty.
know.
You don't even know, Betty. How dare you show up to my show late?
Don't you yell at Betty. I told you once.
Nobody.
Do it.
I'm
Betty's a
actually
legend,
the
by the way.
appointed defender.
Oh my God. All right, let's while you're doing that, Todd, how long is that going to take you, Todd? Do you think we should get into another topic or?
Yeah, you can do another topic.
Okay. All right, let's talk about so Lynx XR1 from a friend of mine is coming. You know what I mean? It's coming soon. It's been, look, this was a Kickstarter a long time ago. It's had its issues. This was announced and launched directly during COVID where, shortages were terrible and things, went bad. And Stan LaRoque, who again, I think I love Stan. We're good friends. We talk a lot on Twitter. We see each other all these shows. But the headset has been so delayed now. And I'm a Kickstarter backer of this headset. When it came out, I Kickstarted and backed it because I believed in it that much. So it's about to start shipping finally to its Kickstarter backers. Now they had a couple of that shipped out early, like as a test program, but now I guess we're finally supposed to be seeing them soon. We've heard this like a lot of times from Stan, like they're coming, and it always gets late. Like we're 2 years delayed now.
Mm-hmm.
My question is to you guys, and then I'll say what I think. Is it way too late for this headset now? Like, I mean,
Do we care anymore?
This headset was all about being one of the first headsets that had color pass through, look into your environment, take objects in your environment, grab them, move them, manipulate them in different areas. This was cutting edge 2 years ago. Is this headset even like a headset that you would even think about putting on now or even think about buying? Jose?
Fortunately, no. I have to look at it from an engineer and technical perspective. I think anybody releasing a headset right now, and I know that a bunch of headsets were announced. I wish them success. I don't ever want to disparage somebody who's out there trying to change the world, but I think to change the world requires changing, right? You can't just reinvent the wheel and introduce another wheel to people. It doesn't solve or change anything. I really think that companies are focusing on building headsets or hardware devices are unfortunately missing the mark. Um, we are not in the we're not in a shortage of hardware. We're in a shortage of developers. We're in a shortage of expertise. We're a shortage
Mhm.
of experiences. We're in a shortage of solving actual problems that hardware we know doesn't require to fix. um there's one that's already shipping that I'm comfortable like giving them a little punch on the shoulder is Big Screen. Big
Mm.
Screen is releasing a headset that is phenomenal. It's a great concept. It's solving a specific problem. But here's the reality of it all. It's going to require a hardware app that you require to use face scans. What they're building is exactly what forced them into this situation, which is licensing and DRM and the ability to make profits out of being in an app store. The Big Screen offered rentable 3D movies. They had Netflix integrations at one point, I believe, and all of that. Meta saw that value and said, wait a minute, why don't we just have the movies rentable directly in the store? And why don't we get the Netflix app and the YouTube app? And they're a business. And so instead of Big Screen rallying their troops and rallying the industry and saying, hey, we are really good at what we're solving. Let's really bring it up to the voices. Instead, they were like, no, I'm building my own hardware, my own this, my own, like
Baffles me.
it reminds me of the Futurama Bender, like I'll build my own blackjack. And that's exactly what I think that's happening. It's everybody kind of goes like, oh, I can't make more, then I'm just gonna take it all instead. And it's like,
Mm.
what?
I'm
Like,
I'm with you. The Big Screen headset, which Todd has one coming,
oh, that's awesome.
it looks like an amazing headset. And I would
It
love
is,
one,
yeah.
right? But what it is and what it does, it just baffles me. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me in the consumer market. That there's a couple of headsets that are coming out now, and I think you're right. Like anything you're thinking about shipping right now, we're going to talk about another headset that's going to be coming out soon. I think so. I don't want to get too much into the Big Screen, but Todd, you have a Big Screen now. I mean, I mean, you're getting a Quest 3. I know you want to get the Apple headset. Like I've talked about this. I mean, you're not canceling your Big Screen Beyond. You want this headset.
Yeah, well, it's
Um,
gonna like Jose says, it's going to solve a particular problem that I have that I don't like, which is my index. It's gonna replace that, and I'm gonna be able to slap this tiny little thing on my head every time I want to go into VR, into Neos or whatever, and I won't have to put that 3-pound thing on my face, which I'm totally happy about.
I'm just
It
the
solves
problem
a
with me is
specific problem.
I don't know if I don't think the fidelity is good enough in the headset. Like you're trading comfort with fidelity, and and it may be really good, but I'm telling you, it can't do what the Pimax Crystal can do. It's not going to be
But
that
I would
good.
never put a 10-pound headset on for
But again,
hours.
you're trading comfort for fidelity, and I don't want to do that. Like I think I want to find a happy medium where I can live with the weight of the headset, but I am a PC VR user because I want the highest fidelity and I want the
So if
best
you were going to play After
experience.
the Fall for a 12-hour live stream and I gave you a Pimax 12K or an 8KX
What's the
and
point?
a
Am I
Big Screen
seated?
Beyond,
Am I
and you have
seated?
to do 12 hours and you're
Yep.
standing up, you're not seated.
And no. It's still that's different.
Like
It's different.
very different. It's a specific problem it's solving.
Yeah.
Right. But I wouldn't use a Big Screen Beyond for that probably. I would use something else.
You wouldn't use a Pimax either.
No, but I would probably use another headset. I don't know
You'd
why.
use an index. Somewhere in the
Yeah, but
middle.
but again, this is
You know what I would
$1,000.
do?
This is $1,000 headset you're talking about that I need to go buy
I
base
would,
stations for
yeah.
and controllers.
So is an index.
Again, but yeah, but I'm not telling you to go out and buy an English index right now either. I'm saying I wouldn't buy either of them right now.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't buy an index. I wouldn't buy a big screen.
I'm getting it and more excited about the. I'm a collector of VR headsets. I want the fucking headset.
Oh,
You
I
know,
mean,
like,
that's
if,
why
if
with
the
the links.
Quest 3 was coming out and I was just Joe Blow, I definitely wouldn't say go spend $1,000 on a big screen.
That the Lynx itself, like I'm getting this, the Lynx XR1 is coming. I may not take this thing out of the box.
Right?
Like I've demoed it 100
It's an
times. Like
XR2
I know what it does.
headset.
Like everything that headset can do, I've already done it now. Like
Yeah.
not 100. I've probably literally done
Half
it
a dozen times.
15 times, at least 15 times. There's no reason for me to take this headset out of the box. I don't think I could leave it in the box and just keep it and go.
I
I
got
got a
one.
keepsake and remember, it's going to be worth something someday, brand new in the box. But literally, to me, that's how little effect this headset now has on the market. Like,
Yeah.
do you see anybody buying this headset besides now? Like, if they come out now and they're like, okay, headset's available today at 800 or was how much?
850 US.
$850. Who's buying this Lynx XR1 besides the people that already paid for it that are waiting on it?
Nobody.
It has value, right, for developers. I think that's the reason why it got so much attention in the first place. I think the links created an awareness of a problem that a lot of developers were experiencing, which is, hey, there's not really a mixed reality platform, and the companies that are offering the tools for developing in mixed reality, they're not effective. They're not, there's a lot of banding and hardware uh, compromises that these companies had to make in order to deliver pseudo mixed reality. That's where links came in. They were solving that problem specifically. They were looking at, not to get too technical, but like the bending of how virtual lights look in blending with real lights, right? And that requires a specific form factor, a specific engineering and understanding how eyes work, and just a lot of layers that companies that are building mainstream devices cannot solve, entirely. And Lynx built that conversation. The problem is it's very hard to build hardware that's designed to fix a problem that bigger companies will solve in a few years. The Quest 3 is going to solve all the issues that the Lynx R1 try to solve. Like, let's be realistic. Even the XR Elite with their depth sensor enabled really blows the Lynx XR, the R1 out of the water. And I've used the Lynx. I think it's an incredible device.
Yeah.
I think it's incredibly light. It has potential for developers, but there is a market reality. I'm targeting, if I'm really using this as my main development tool, I'm going to still have to port it over to higher end headsets to make sure that the experience is there. I truly believe that releasing any kind of headset right now, and I really mean this like outside of Lynx, because I don't want people to think that I'm anti-Lynx. I really am very anti XR2 or any of that processing benchmark new hardware. Anybody, if there's one company that's building hardware that should be getting all of the attention that nobody's talking about, is SVR. The SVR team are building a straight up computer in your head, similar to what Apple is doing, and it's running on Linux, and they're talking about spatial computing. They are figuring problems that all these companies are not figuring out. So I really think that's where the future is. It's don't try to reinvent the wheel. Figure out why people hate the cars that are running in those wheels and build a better car.
Yep.
Build the experience, build hardware.
Yeah, and that's what Stan tried to do. Like, I love Stan. Like he did it. Like he was like he's like he's like, you are not doing what I need you to do. I'm going to go out and make a better headset. And I think, unfortunately, Stan got caught in COVID and shortages, and he was, a small startup. You know what I mean? And because there was a lot of people that believed in him, they had a hugely successful Kickstarter, and they had me. Like literally, when that was announced, I was like, I'm on board. I remember talking to the Rendered Reality guys. And I was talking to Sean and Tyler, and I'm like, guys, are you getting this headset? And they're like, yep, we're ordering it. And I'm like, dude, I think I am too. And I went and ordered it that day. Yeah, I mean, so I was all on board with it, but you got to remember that was 2 years ago.
I think they had 1,700 backers.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean,
over 1,700.
Think about what they were promising 2 years ago. I mean, that demo, the same demo that I've done now hundreds of times 2 years ago, blew me away. But that demo is like, again 2 years old, and what you're going to be getting in a $500 Quest 3 that you can do a million
The
other
same
things with.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's where the
agree.
future, and I remember what you were saying, Todd. You were asking Eric about trying to have an alternative for the index, right? And the reality is that people don't look at all-in-one headsets as a pseudo replacement for a PCVR native headset. So then people don't. I mean, there's a technical barrier to it all, but I have the same issue. I'm a really big PCVR user, and I do not like, to be quite transparent with y'all, I don't like virtual interfaces. I think clicking 2D icons in a virtual space, to be honest with you, it pisses me off to the point
Mm-hmm.
that every single headset I own boots up straight into ALVR streaming, and it boots into Steam VR. That for me is probably the best replacement for an index right now. I just literally turn on my laptop, open up my ALVR streamer, and my headset doesn't go in. I don't have to like open up the Oculus interface, click the icon, connect.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's literally set up and automated to boot up straight into Steam VR. I don't like looking at the interface. I only mess with the Steam interface. I really believe that that's going to probably be the killer headset. The headset that has no friction and just gets you into the environment. This is actually something that I love messing with behind the scenes. A lot of people that do engineering for virtual reality, they use a second screen on the monitor. So Windows, to get a little bit technical and nerdy with you guys, the way a VR headset's detected as a headset, it's actually detecting a secondary monitor. Right, so it knows it realizes it's a monitor, and it uses that monitor to enable the gyroscope and all that stuff. What platform do you think are going to win if we are building if that's how VR by exception is how it's designed, if it's detecting it as a monitor? So what companies, and you have to think about it's going to be Windows, it's going to be Linux, it's going to be the companies that already have the runtime that it's being detected as a headset. So maybe that's what Windows 12 will be, right? That when you connect the headset, it doesn't matter if Steam VR is running. The moment you connect that headset, you just get the Windows interface on a spatial without any friction, and you just double click your icon and you're done. That's where headsets like the Big Screen Beyond will really start taking off, right? The smartest people are aware that that's coming. And companies like SVR that's doing that on the Linux side of all, I truly believe those are going to be the winners in this space. And Meta is going to become a really good cell phone experience company. I really believe that Meta will be able to replace the cell phone eventually, as well as Apple, right? Because they started on distribution chains using mobile devices. They mastered cell phone manufacturing supply chains, and now they're releasing headsets without much issue. They will eventually get to the Tony Stark sunglasses.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for Tony Stark. Todd, you know who I'm ready for? You know who I'm ready for before we go to our next topic? I'm ready for
my Tony Stark
Let's
sunglasses.
go.
Oh, those are awesome, man. I do love the Rokids. The Rokids are
I'm having
Yes.
so much fun with these things, man.
Yeah.
Oh my
They're
god.
so rad. Have you done any VR stuff on them yet?
Like their AR games and stuff? No, not yet. I went through their menus and stuff, but I haven't
I
looked
gotta
at it
show
yet.
you later. I can get Steam VR working on those. So if you wanted a little big screen Beyond replacement, when you think about it,
Hell yeah.
if
There you
you
go.
if you put really nice little goggles on them, the Roll Kit really does make a really good replacement for the
It
big screen
does really, and
Beyond.
you know what? Their
Shut up.
screens are
I gotta try that. We
their
gotta chat
screens are
after
so
this.
crisp. I mean, like when you see that, when you see, like I've been on planes and watching movies, and like you got this huge screen TV in front of your eyes, and you can still see into your environment, but it's not a wash through image like some of these are.
No, it's cool.
It's super nice and it's well done. Todd, are you ready for that video? I want to show that video because Creeper Betty was here and she stopped in earlier and she had a pretty fun video. Creeper Betty's trying to do some streaming. She wants to do some
Oh
videos and some
snap!
recording, and Creeper Betty is coming. She's coming with
Let's
her own
go.
channel, and she's going to be doing some
With
stuff.
vengeance. Yes.
Yeah, let's.
Before we do
let's,
that, though, I just want to give a quick shout out to
Oh yeah, please.
Samson143VR. $5 super chat. Much love, y'all. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Much appreciated.
Love
Hell yeah,
Samson.
man. Hell yeah. Thank you, Samson. You're the man, dude. Thank you. All right, Todd. Let's check this out.
All right, let's have a look at Creeper Betty's stream. We'll just watch the first couple minutes because it's pretty funny.
This is my favorite stream of all time, I think.
I think so.
Hey, Creeper Betty here, creeping in to play some more Garden of the Sea. One of my friends, Eric's favorite game. This one I'm going to probably be a little bit more detailed on. I'm just going to cruise through, play the game. So there's going to probably be some grinding. Oh, hello there, little guy. Hi. Oh, so cute. Yes, you are. You're so cute. Yeah. Okay, so that's our pet. What should we name that little guy? We could name you Mash. We'll name you Mash. Yes. Okay, I think I need to put together my boat, and I'm missing a piece. So let's go and see if I can't find that. This is where I build their home so they can make babies. I can make babies. Oh, I got the haptics on too, by the way. Yes, I forgot to tell you. Haptics going on. Hi, buddy. Oh, you want to build a bridge for me? Is that what you want to do? You want to build a bridge? You want me to fill that bubble up with all those items and we can make a bridge? Sounds like a great idea. Let's do it. I have nothing that's going to help us. Okay, I will get what you're asking for. I'll be back.
She did an absolute awesome job in this.
Good
video.
job, Betty. Love it. You guys go watch this. Go check out the full video. It's a 15-minute video of maybe one of my favorite games of all time, Garbage of the Sea. Go check out Garbage of the Sea. Creeper Betty's plays it. I think she's got more stuff coming with it, Todd. I think she's got some like longer, episodes that she's gonna pull from this. But this was like a little 15-minute episode she dropped, and it was well done. She did a really good job, and well done, Betty. Thank you for naming your pet.
Rad. That's so cool.
Thank you for
Betty's
naming your
so
pet
awesome,
Mash.
by the way. Like, just one of the. I love this industry. I really think, I generally believe this industry. Yes, there's a lot of unfavorable people that can, try to invade us, but it really fosters and creates amazing people. Just absolutely amazing people.
Yeah, it really is. It's such a cool community. It's cool to see somebody like Creeper Betty, get her wings and kind of do some of these things that she's probably been wanting to do for a long time. She's really funny. She does a really good job and people want to watch her do these things. So, Betty, good job. I can't wait to see more. And go check out Creeper Betty's channel, YouTube channel. Todd linked it in chat, and go join and hit the notification
button. Yeah,
the subscribe and notification bell, because if you check the notification bell out, then what happens when she has new stuff dropping, which she will have new stuff dropping that I already saw. I can't tell you about, but you'll get notified when it does drop. And it's pretty cool. So good job, Betty. Good job. All right, guys, let's get back. We got a couple more topics I want to hit, and we've already got Jose here for 2 hours, man. I'm sorry, but it's been such a freaking cool night of talking stuff. It's been amazing.
I'm on your guys' time, man. I
literally,
love
I can't
stuff.
stop, man.
I literally on F Reality. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I literally wear a shock collar that Zim controls. If I ever need to shut up, if you ever see me Twitch on the podcast, that's Zim literally shocking me to shut up.
I was gonna say, you guys usually try and go like an hour and a half, something like that. Like, how do you do it? Like, I mean, like I would be like, I'd get warm. I get
when the show's over.
An hour and a half in. I'm getting fired up. Let's go.
Yeah, I genuinely can do F Reality podcast for 5 hours if they allowed me to. I really could. I love talking this stuff, man. So seriously, I'm on you guys' time. So make sure you shock me too. So
there we go. There we go. I got a couple of more I want to talk about. Let's do this one here. Todd, you got that other trailer ready?
Yes.
Let's do that first, and I want to get into the two texts last. So let's hit that first. We'll play a quick trailer that dropped today.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches said, black masses. The chaos is coming, Guardian. I dare you to defy it.
Damn, that was quick.
That was way quicker than I thought it was going to be.
No, that wasn't
That
the
was
whole
their
thing, was it?
that's their new teaser. Yeah.
Okay, I thought they had more than that. That's cool. It's cool. It looks freaking cool. I love the music, by the way.
Yeah, right.
That's freaking awesome. So yeah, another trailer for Asgard's Wrath coming, and I am so excited for this game. There's a lot of people out there that weren't able to play Asgard's Wrath, the first one. This is Asgard's Wrath 2. But a lot of people weren't able to play it, the first one, because it was a Rift. It's a Rift only PC game. And if you don't have PC available, there's a ton of people out there that only play standalone quests. So people are finally going to be able to get to play, this amazing game. I did see something from Nathy today that made me think a little bit. Asgard's Wrath is not coming to Quest. Most of these people don't know Asgard's Wrath. So was it smart to call it Asgard's Wrath 2, or just have a different
We had a
name?
conversation with Nathy about this about a month ago.
Yeah.
And
So
I think he's right.
I mean, you could have called this Asgard's something, right? It didn't have to be Asgard's Wrath 2.
Vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, you could have had a different name to it that kind of didn't bring it.
Did it need to be a number 2?
It doesn't matter what they call it. I'm excited for it. Jose?
I'm excited for it. I was honestly, every time I see the trailer, I get stuck on the the Ozzy Osbourne on the music.
So good. Dee was singing it. Dee started singing it immediately as soon as the song came on.
How could you not, General?
No, and the thing is, like, I really have a personal theory that's playing in my head, that somebody heard my complaints making fun of Ozzy Osbourne's commercial that they did for Meta, and somebody heard me complaining about it, and they were like, oh, now we're going to shove down every single song, because that's the third trailer that they have used a song.
Different
I don't know why that happened. I'm with it. I love it.
I can't imagine how much that costs to fucking license Sabbath for their whole game. Oh my god!
Yeah, that probably was the whole budget right there. Yeah, honestly.
Right.
And that's funny too.
At least they're doing something. You know what I mean? I'm like, thank God.
I just had an email pop up about Asgard's Wrath. It's now available, so I'm like, oh wow, that's convenient.
Dee, have you played it yet? Because now you do have your PC, and and I think you could probably play it in Roots' library, even though you don't own it. I don't think, right? But you can play it through Roots' library.
Yeah, I got a Steam.
You should
be able to do that.
Well, it's not Steam. You got to play it through Oculus, but he has it. He has it in his Rift library, so you could play it on his on his desktop, on his headset. You'd have to play it, but you could do it, and you should.
I love the comment by the D1360 VR. He said it's a PC VR gateway game, and it truly is. It's PC all roads. I hope that if somebody ever uses that quote, they quote me. But I'm a big believer of that saying all the time. It's all roads lead back to PC VR. It's going to the next year or so. I really believe that the hardcore streamers, the people that are going to want to do the really high end streaming, they're going to be starting to look at PC, and that's going to be very weird when these companies are going to start trying to create walled gardens using computers, and that's going to blow open. I don't know. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. I think we're seeing. I think a lot about side quest. I think the side quest environment might become VR Steam store. The real open store that's going to take into popularity. And I think about it quite a bit. It's like, do companies like Meta know that that's what's going to happen? That's the eventuality, and what's the plan? Because people are going to. It's called Asgard's Wrath 2. Like you said it yourself. Why didn't they call it Asgard's Wrath? And I guarantee you, if you talk to one of the people making that game, they're like, we want them to try Asgard's Wrath 1.
Yeah,
we want them to try it.
Oh yeah.
Every single person that has mentioned 2, every single person in this industry recommends the original PC game. So
when you get Asgard's Wrath 2, you get a copy of Asgard's Wrath 1 when you pre-order.
And remember, I mean, as much as they want to be standalone VR, what was the title they gave away with the Quest 2 originally? Remember? What was the title that they gave away free when they were pushing the Quest 2 at Christmas when it were launched? That was Asgard's Wrath. It wasn't a standalone game. It was a PC VR game that they said
that came with the Quest.
If you buy a Quest 2 right now, you get Asgard's Wrath for free. To the point where they end up having to give it to all the people. Remember, because they offered it in December, and all the early buyers were like, "What the hell, man?" And they ended up giving it to everybody. But that's what they did because, like you said, it's a gateway game. It's a game that gets people. It's a game that pushes people into PC VR. And for me, I'm a huge PC VR fan. It was a perfect storm. The demise or the slumber of PC VR was a perfect storm. It was standalone, and it was the birth of crypto mining because
Yeah.
PC VR
I love
gaming
that.
was so expensive that people couldn't afford to do it anymore. When you were talking 2,500, 3,000, 3,500, 4,000 to get a PC VR capable computer, during the height of
Sometimes that
crypto
was
mining.
just the cost of the graphics card.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I think it was like a kind of a perfect storm that's why, where PC VR gaming kind of, again, it's not dead. It just went into its a little bit of a cycle where, we're into, and I think it'll come back.
The
Unreal,
world
the Prey
changed.
Dog's Unreal mod is going to help too.
That's gonna
Yeah.
help big time. Yeah.
I can
To be able to inject your favorite game and go play it on your face is gonna just
Mm.
blow up.
And it's the
First
best
game I'm
way of playing pancake games, by the way.
Right?
Oh yeah.
first game I'm jumping into is Returnal. I have to. I
Yes.
Yeah.
have
I
to.
love Returnal.
Oh,
Not
so good.
Destiny?
I may have been in there already.
How dare you, D?
In VR, Destiny?
Mm.
That sounds pretty rad. I like Destiny. It's not a game that I could really throw myself into like that, but maybe in VR, like if there's an injector mod, that's something that I might consider. Same thing with like Borderlands. Like
Yeah, Borderlands.
I really love the Borderlands VR port with the mods. Like I would love to see Borderlands 4 be VR
That would be
native.
amazing.
That would be. I hope so. I don't think that. I really think that I really believe that, especially with that the fact that they really did release a VR port of the game, it means that they really do think about VR. It just makes sense.
Absolutely. I got a comment here from D1360 VR says Lone Echo 1 and 2, wondering if Meta will bring to Quest 3 or give it away an Asgard's Wrath 2 sequel. So I do think so. Think about this. Oculus has one of the Meta/Oculus has one of the best PC VR libraries, even today. Like if you go back to some of the old Oculus games, like From Other Suns, like Asgard's Wrath, Defector, Stormland, there's Edge of Nowhere. These are games that if you launch them today and said they're brand new games, would be some of the best looking, some of the best playing games that you've ever seen. They are AAA quality games, some of these games. Wilson's Heart. There's some of these games that have not been able to be done on standalone as with a Quest 1 or Quest 2. I think there's a possibility with the power of the Quest 3 that they could be done. Now, whether Meta will put the money into porting them, because I know a lot of those teams have moved on to other projects, or some of those teams
Right.
aren't even around anymore. Like Stormland is not a Meta-owned company anymore. Stormland is a Sony-owned company, so I don't
Sony.
know if we would see Stormland. But it's if Meta owns Stormland, they could have another company come in and just port it. Why not? They could do that if they own it.
Yeah.
They could do that. They could bring in Defector. They could bring in Asgard's Wrath 2. It's just whether we think the Quest 3 can operate it and run them well.
Yeah, I was going to say that was exactly my question. Where do you think the Quest 3 stands? Based on what we heard a little bit and the rumors, do you really think that it will be able to handle those games you listed?
I don't know. Literally,
Yeah,
I can
too
tell
early
you
to
this.
tell, yeah.
I can tell you this. I talked to developers. I've talked to several. I talked to one today who is a big developer in the industry and has a Quest 3, showed it to me in the video call. And he said it's been freaking amazing. Like, and this is not a game that's even optimized for the Quest 3. This is his current game that's on Quest 2 that he's just playing on the Quest 3. And he's saying how freaking amazing it is. I don't know directly immediately if they'll be ready, but I think, as developers start to understand the Quest 3 hardware and they start to learn optimization with it, and God, if they ever got a eye-tracked version of the Quest 3 to where we could have foveated rendering,
Right?
I absolutely think we could get those games onto the Quest 3.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can imagine development being a really big factor to getting there. I just it's very difficult for me to right. I guess the best way I can explain this is the best cell phone right now still can't run PC games natively. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So these are still mobile devices. They're mobile chipsets. They have a very different style of development. I'm a really big proponent. There's a lot of reasons why I'm not a big fan of only one headset systems, and it's because of more than just the hardware. It's the mentality behind the hardware. Cell phones, for example, are designed with singular tasks in mind. We're entering the era now of persistent multitasking. We are these devices, and Apple, credit to them, they're the first company really of all of them in the industry that really proved what happens when you just straight up make a computer in your eyes, right? You start and think of the logics behind a general operating system, right? You don't right now, Todd, you're streaming and you have multiple applications open. Imagine if you do that on a all-in-one headset. Like the moment you open up a second instance, either one instance goes into battery saving mode and disables it, or it breaks it, or what I mean. The hardware, the design language, all the way down to the system, which is the Android operating system that was designed for mobile devices. They're tackling and hacking it and removing it. But what happens when you go further than the Android limitations? You got Linux. That's the magic. That's where, when you start seeing companies embracing Linux or real spatial operating systems, you're going to see that Magic Leap is a really good one that I think a lot about. I'm not a really big fan of the AR stuff, to be honest, yet, but they call them general computing pucks, right? Which are CPUs that you fall under the same trap. They're using mobile CPUs. They could have easily gotten a Intel i7 mobile version and built themselves a little laptop, and nobody really wants to do that. And the reason for that is you're going to make Linux and Windows better. And a good way for me to give you an example of that is Valve is coming. Valve, Gabe Newell himself, if a lot of people that don't know that, Gabe Newell is a former Microsoft employee. He worked on Windows. He left Microsoft because he hated what Microsoft was becoming. He hated what Windows was becoming. He said he wanted Windows to be an environment that people built upon and that you don't tell them what to build upon it. And when Microsoft started doing their Office suites and all that, Gabe Newell left. And guess what Gabe Newell released recently? The Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is an operating system that developers are seeing as a sandbox and building upon it. And he's going to release a headset with the same environment. And in 20 years, we're going to look at whatever operating system Valve has as what we see Windows as today.
I hope so. I'm praying, please.
Environment,
please, Gabe.
20 years. Oh my God, don't
give me a Deckard. Give me a good Deckard. Just be.
It's coming. Oh, dude.
I want it to be the headset. Like I want it to be the headset that I want it to be the One Ring. I want it to rule
the
all.
One Ring.
The one
I do.
like
I want to get the headset and go, this is awesome. I don't want to go, this is awesome, but like I want no buts with this headset. I want no caveat. I want no okay, it's great, but this, or it's great, but it has God rays, or it has
native XR Elite. That's literally what they're going to release.
I want it.
A Steam native XR Elite that has its app store and it has straight up integration that you hit Steam Big Picture mode and it sends a call to your headset and it enables on. It's gonna be as seamless as that. It's the new icon on Steam's update. The little VR, it looks like an XR Elite. And HTC developed the original Vive. They're like this close. The base stations, it's all there. It's coming. Yeah,
I know. I'm so excited. I really am. It's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And
another quick shout out to Mickey Burr, who dropped a key for Until You Fall Steam key.
I love this game. I love this.
Great game as well.
Awesome,
Thank you very much, Mickey.
Mickey, you rock, dude.
I gotta start giving you guys my keys that I get sent. I love this. We
try and give away as many keys as we can.
I love it.
Yeah, we try and give away as many. We haven't been able to give away as many as we normally do, just because we're so busy and keeping track of all the keys and trying to give them away has just been so hard. But when we're not as busy, we try and do them as much as we can. All right, guys, I want to do. Let's do 2 quick topics and let's get out of here because it's been a long time. And man, what a freaking great show! I could really talk hardware like this all night. I really could
sit here all night if I didn't have to pee.
Hardware gets me so excited, dude. I don't know. All right, let's talk first. Pico coming to North America, but not with the Pico 4. We're coming to North America. It gets FCC approval to come to North America for the Pico Neo 3 Link. which is a 4-year-old headset. Yeah, it's a 4-year-old headset.
Yeah.
Oh
Pico Neo
man.
3 is 4 years old. The Pico 4 has been out for over a year, but they're not coming with the Pico 4, which they said they were going to try and come. It got FCC approval, but they pulled back because of the TikTok hearings or
Right.
the ByteDance hearings in Congress. They pulled back.
They did also talk about Pico Elite 3 coming.
Yep.
Because they
Right,
did the
because
enterprise launch first, and it's been around a while. You
right,
can
but
get
that's
those in North America.
again,
And then
that's
they
the
were
thing
coming out
that
with the
baffles
consumer.
me though. Like, Pico Neo 3 Link is already here in the enterprise version. Why bring this one? Like, I don't get it. Like,
I don't know if it
unless
was part of the same patent
It's
application, maybe, or
I
but they
actually
had
have
FCC
a I
approval already
actually
for the
know the
4.
reason for this, like the
Oh, hit
actual
me. I
reason.
love it. Hit it.
Yeah, Virtuix Omni. They fundraising. They built a standalone commercial environment, and it's native with the Neo. They wanted to decouple themselves from Meta and HTC and prove that there is value in omnidirectional treadmills, and they went with this device. And they fundraised almost $4 million. So shout out to them for that. The money talks. So they got FCC approval. Once they saw that there's gonna be
Yeah.
that money got raised in the US, they pushed it through. But this is 100%. I believe that it was because of it is 100% because of the Virtuix.
It's got to be because again, there's FCC approval on both the headsets.
yeah.
Pico 4 has FCC approval also, but they pulled
Mhm.
back because of the ByteDance hearing. So is it because now I what you're saying makes complete sense to me. It
Yeah.
sounds now the other thing I was thinking is maybe they didn't get the Pico 4 in because the Pico 4 is a color pass through with cameras that map your environment.
Yeah.
And they're already worried about ByteDance with information. I mean, is maybe that, and the Pico 3, Pico Neo 3 Link doesn't have that. That's the only other thing I was thinking, because again, both are FCC approved. So really they could bring either one. So if they're bringing the Pico 3 Neo Pico Neo 3
Easy
Link
for
for a
you to
reason, they're doing that again for what Jose is saying, because
$4
Virtuix,
million worth of
that
investment
makes a lot of
waiting for
sense.
them. Yeah, that makes a lot of
Or
sense.
maybe they're just too afraid to try and bring the Pico 4 right now.
It was the fundraiser. They're using it to promote. It's going to be the device that their new Omni system comes with it. It is going to be deeply integrated. Also, the Neo I'm pretty sure the Pico 4 doesn't have it. Is it Neo 3? It's called Neo 4.
Neo 3 Link
Yeah,
has
the Pico
Neo 3
Neo
Link.
3
The
Link.
Neo 3 Link has power display.
Mhm.
I believe the Pico 4 does not
No.
have the power display. Power display is a threat to all-in-one headset manufacturers because it builds a replacement for it builds an index. It builds a Steam VR native device. It is a threat. It is a walled garden. A lot of companies that make headsets, you can kind of see them trying to kind of build reasons for it. You know what? If I'm gonna start shooting at all of them, I'll shoot them all of them, right? HTC with their DRM layer with Steam VR, that you need an app in order to run your headset. To the XR Elite now integrates with your Steam library when you could just launch Steam VR and just launch the game from there. That's another useless integration. The business streaming apps, right? Everybody's releasing all the streaming apps instead of just releasing a universal one that connects, right? The ALVR team has a really good one. Virtual Desktop has a really good one. But Virtual Desktop has to play by the rules that these manufacturers are making, right? So they make it very restrictive for him to really deliver the experience that we want, right?
Right.
So, but power delivery kind of
Takes
circumvents
all that
all that.
away. Yeah.
Todd, you going to
That's
get the
kind of where
Pico
we're.
Neo 3 Link? You got every other headset coming.
I got an empty spot on my shelf behind me.
There
You
you
have
are.
every other headset coming. You got you got a big screen beyond coming. Somebody who was it in chat? D1360 VR said Neo Link 3 has the display port. It does have a display port, which most headsets do not. So it has a display port cable.
Uncompressed
Right.
PC VR.
But the problem is the screens are 4 years old. So I
Right.
get that the signal is not compressed, and you're going to get a better, a better signal to the headset. But if you're going to have screen door effect, you're going to have glare, you're going to have God rays, you're going to have the resolution's nowhere near as good. Like, to me, I don't know. None of us are buying this headset. This headset makes zero sense for anybody. For us.
I started laughing because of one of the chat comments, and somebody said they won one and they sold it on eBay immediately.
That's what I would do. Absolutely. If I won one right now, if they were like, "Hey, I'll give you one right now," I'm like, "Yeah, I could."
Oh,
Probably
that's
sell that
right,
for a couple
Jason
$100.
from Mr. Tasselhoff.
That's see those. This is what I love about the VR industry. It fosters the best. Like that is hustle mentality. I love
Hell
it.
yeah.
I love it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's super interesting. Somebody had mentioned maybe they were rolling it out as a beta program like they did in Europe with the Quest 4, with the Pico 4.
Oh my god, I hope
Um,
not. That was such a fucking dumb idea.
Yeah, this is terrible. I don't know. I want Pico in North America, so I hope this is the first step to bringing the Pico 4. And remember, Pico 5 is coming soon.
Yeah, we've already talked about it.
Like literally, we could see the Pico 5 as early as like quarter, maybe not quarter 1, but maybe quarter 2, maybe quarter 1. I mean, they were at one time. I can tell you they were talking about bringing it quarter 1. So I don't know, but Pico 5 is coming.
I'm with it. I love it.
Ah, me too.
We're
I'm
gonna
trying to
get
bring as many
new,
headsets as we can. I
It's
got
a
a new
cell
thing
phone
for my
era,
Pico.
man. We're back to cell phones again.
Oh, did you get one?
I
Yeah,
got
you gotta
one.
have that.
I haven't
Where
tried
did
it
you
yet,
get that?
but everybody in our Patreon meeting was talking about how comfortable this new Pico 4. It's from ALVR, I think.
ALVR, yeah.
I haven't tried it on the Pico yet, but I just pulled it out of the box this
Anything's got to be
afternoon,
better than the sandpaper one that's on there.
It's really cushy. I hate it.
Yeah,
seriously
I like
sandpaper.
that.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it feels
It's
good.
probably one of the most uncomfortable light headsets because the thing is
Oh, it
tiny.
is.
It really
It's
is
terribly
small,
uncomfortable.
but it's so uncomfortable because of the current the facial interface that's on it. All right, guys, let's talk one more topic and then we'll get out of here. I had more, Jose.
got lots.
Like I can't. Next show.
We can continue talking for the rest of the night behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
We'll make our own. We'll pretend we're recording and we just keep talking.
I would do it. We do that on Crewcast all the time. We just sit there and we're like dumb shit. It's like we've been on the show for 2 hours and then we sit there for a half hour after, 45 minutes after, just talking to each other.
Just shooting the shit more.
Yeah,
We can just stayed online. Yeah.
All right, so new headset coming. Just announced. Immersed. Todd's a huge Immersed fan because Immersed is the is the business flow program that you'll see in even in your Meta Quest. You can get in there and you can have infinite screens, computer.
Well,
screens
not infinite. You can have up to 5.
Okay, that's pretty infinite.
You're still limited by the law.
Well, let's put it this way: infinite that you can wrap them all the way around you, 360.
No, wrong game.
Oh, which one is that?
That's not Immersed. That's vSpatial.
Oh, okay. Immersed sucks. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
No, Immersed is actually better than vSpatial.
Okay, no, which one?
All
right. So let me do this though. You work in Immersed more than you do in vSpatial.
I don't use vSpatial at all anymore.
Why?
The screen and the integration and the pass-through window, Immersed has just figured it out better.
Because I was actually in vSpatial with you, and it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's cool. It looks neat. The carousel kind of gets tiring with the vSpatial ones.
With the monitors, you mean?
The monitors, they go around.
I thought that was the amazing part of it. Like literally, you had 360 monitors. Like that's why I said infinite, because
you can only focus on one of them at a time. Where with
yeah.
vSpatial or with Immersed, I can have them in different spots in front of me. I can have a tiny one here. I can have big ones in front of me wherever I want them. And with a tap on my hand,
you know who has big ones in front of them whenever they want them?
My mom.
Without any.
I was waiting for her to show up. I'm surprised you waited this long, Mash.
Without any controllers, vSpatial also needs controllers. Well, it doesn't, but the hands part is terrible. In Immersed, it is so seamless with no controllers. I don't even take my controllers to work. I'll just take a headset.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, it's great. It works perfectly. I can I even create a little tiny pass-through window that fits over my door in my office, so that if people come to my office, I can physically see them. So I'm sitting in a lodge somewhere on a snowy mountaintop with a little crackling fire in the background, and I'm working on all my monitors, and I got a tiny little window up to my left where I can see people when they walk into my office. It's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
And I look down and I've got a complete pass-through window in front of me that shows me my keyboard and my mouse.
So now you can be in your office doing this in your Immersed headset. So Immersed is making the visor.
Yeah.
Jose, have you looked into this? Have you seen anything about it? Did you know it was coming? Because I didn't know. I mean, me and you were, me and Todd, we're pretty entrenched in the VR industry. I had no idea this was coming.
I got a little inside scoop before it was announced with some people, some homies behind the scenes. I love Immersed. I think it's an amazing platform, but they are also dealing with the realities of licensing and DRM. How do you scale? And instead of rallying the troops and telling the team, hey, these are the limitations that we have, help us write a petition to a company like Meta, like, hey, allow us to, instead they were like, we'll make our own with, with blackjack. And it's like, it really breaks my heart. I really wish them success. I really think that although the leadership over there is incredible, and inspiring, but I I really am not a fan of spatial systems that are using obsolete hardware. I really am not. I really wish that the immersed VR team went like, yo, let's build an operating system. Like we're building Linux from the ground up. So like the experiences that Todd described were as seamless as an application layer that he just hits a button and it opens up, just like in Windows when you open an application it opens up. I wish that's really what I thought immersive future was going to be like. Instead they're another hardware company, which means hardware companies are king.
I think if they do it right, though, I think it's smart going to their own hardware, because from a guy that takes my Quest to work, it's a pain in the ass. It's too fucking big. To take to work.
Again, but
if I can have a pair of glasses that I can fold up and carry or put in a little pouch, like even these things, if I could make these things work with immersed, I would totally do that.
Oh, then let's do it. I can do that right now.
Yeah, do it now.
I actually on my Twitter, I have they're not the Row Kids, but they're the X-Real, and it's literally the same exact hardware.
X-Real, and people ask me all the time, what's better? They're the same thing.
They're the same thing. They're literally the same patents and everything. When you like, I can run Steam VR on this. I actually use Immersed using these with tracking and everything. I actually use these now a lot for racing.
Todd just got a big boner.
I think I just
Look at him right now. He's like, what? You can do what? With what?
Yeah,
the front door. Because I take my Quest Pro, right? Because I like the color pass-through. So when I have my little windows and my little, thing over my keyboard, it's color, so I can see my hands and stuff. If I could do that with these glasses.
Oh, dude, like, I gotta show you. Yeah,
we need to talk.
That's really what I thought the future of Immerse was going to be like. And you're absolutely right. I'm a big believer that hardware should exist if your software is being limited. I really don't believe that immersed software is being limited at all by any stretch of the imagination. The hardware is being limited more than likely through software restrictions that the immersed team are experiencing. I really believe that there's a lot of headset manufacturers that the immersed team could go talk to and say, yo, this is the experiences that we're having with this platform. Do you allow us to build something incredible here? The Lynx got announced. Why are they not talking to the Lynx team? Yeah. Right? That's the problem. Is that like great. Absolutely.
Well, and here's the question too that I have, like exactly what you're talking about. If they go and they put all their eggs in this basket of let's make a VR headset and it's not successful, how does that make the app suffer and not move forward?
That's the problem. Yeah.
Like, because I guarantee, I can't guarantee. I have a feeling that this is not going to be successful.
I got a feeling.
Seriously, do you think this is going to be successful? Like, to me, this is not a headset that I think can really make, is going to make a ton of money. Like, they haven't put a price point. Do we know the price point of this yet?
No, nothing yet.
I mean,
I don't see how they've already announced that it's not going to do VR. It's a specific pair of glasses for a specific reason. So it's not going to, you can't compare it to the big screen.
But again, we're niche. Again, we're niching a niche market.
Yeah, if it's a couple $100 and I can just throw it in my pocket, like, fuck, man,
that's not going to be a couple $100. There's no way.
I don't know.
It's unfortunate because I really believe that what this industry needs is collaboration. I really believe that if there's an amazing company building great hardware and there's an amazing company building great software, collaborate with them. Like let these hardware manufacturers know, hey, these are the reasons that I am thinking about building hardware, right? And that's the problem, is that this industry fosters really great people. And there's two types of people in this: people that are in this for real and people who are in it to make money. And I really do, I don't want to be disparaging and rude, but I really believe anybody who's releasing a headset right now is after money. They realize, hey, there is a problem here in this industry that I could really fix if I really talk to the industry, to the heart of it, right? there's the Immerse platform is the best when it comes to spatial right now. I'm the one saying that. Todd uses it on a really badass form. Like it, I know people that are using this. Why aren't they talking to people like Todd? He's like, hey Todd, what headsets are you using? What company? If there's a company right now that's making a headset that could deliver, which one could it be? Right? Like,
But that's
is
just
it
it. I
X-Ray or is it
don't think
Rotate?
there's a headset small enough, light enough, and more travel savvy at the moment. There isn't one. To put in my, to take to work every single day, a Quest, a Pico, I got them all. They're all right behind me. And none of them are
No,
convenient.
I fully agree. But what happens when you
But
have a
what's wrong with
Rokit
making your
that
own?
has well, what happens if you use a Rokit that's mixed reality native? So every XR application that you open is
Like I
just
tried
running as a transparent
Ginger
instance.
XR with my Rokit. It was terrible.
Was it Ginger?
Ginger
Oh, I did see
XR is
Ginger.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no, I don't
they
like Ginger
touted that.
it
XR.
is
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about
absolutely
Steam
garbage.
VR. We're OpenXR. No, I'm an OpenXR. Yeah, I've used Ginger OS and all of those overlayers.
It's
And
not good.
that goes back to what I mentioned earlier. You know what Ginger OS is? It is literally using your external display as a instance for VR.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The companies that are going to win
Streaming it from your
are the
machine, your
ones.
laptop or whatever. Yeah.
We're going. I really believe maybe you're right. Maybe if the Immerse company really does, but the problem is that I
Right. If
already
it's
know
$500, then
four.
it's dumb because no one's gonna
I know
buy it. You're gonna
4
buy a
headsets
Quest
that are
3.
coming.
There's no
Imagine is
way it's gonna be
coming,
less than that.
Samsung is coming, Sony is coming with their enterprise headset. X-Real has a higher resolution one that they teased me about. Rokit also teased me with a high resolution XR native one. It's it's a very odd situation.
It's
I
telling
really
to see. It's
Like
telling to see
maybe
all these
Immerse
software
should have gone
companies
to
making headsets, though. I mean, Big Screen just did it. Big Screen just did it, and they were a software company that pivoted and made a headset. Now, Immersed is a software company that is pivoting and making a headset. So
there you go.
I'm curious.
Maybe it just got really affordable to order hardware parts through the supply chain.
Maybe.
That's really what's happening. We're gonna see, and that's what breaks my heart is that we're gonna see the beginning of the really low, like affordable VR headset, just like we see the affordable cell phone. I really think that it's gonna be a really big difference. I really think that the Quest environment XR2 mobile devices versus general computing headsets, that's gonna be the real VR market.
I'd love to see this. I'd love to see this headset do well. Like I said, if it would, Todd, if it's $400, would you go get it to use in Immersed because you work a lot in it, or are you just like I'll use my big screen? Yeah.
Well, if the Rokit works,
Right.
then they've got some competition I was unaware of. So,
Rokits are pretty.
For $299, maybe I would get it.
Yeah. I mean, Rokits are pretty.
Of course.
These Rokit and these Nreal glasses are pretty. They're really nice glasses. They're not what you would consider AR glasses, really, but they are good for what they are.
They're more.
Is
It's like home. Well, I don't know. Apparently,
it's
Jose's hacked
entertainment.
the shit
It's
out of
either
this thing.
yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly.
And
but
not sure if
they're not like
Rokit-
fixed off tracked or anything like that.
Yeah, and I don't know if Rokit has this on theirs, but they have like two different covers, and they have this cover that kind of creates the shield.
Yeah, I got
These
that too.
guys on Steam VR, I'm telling you, Todd, I'll definitely show you. I have a video on my Twitter that I show it on the Steam VR home environment, but this will eventually, like the next generation of the Rokid or the next generation of the X-Real will 100%
So maybe that's where
eclipse
Immerse should have gone, or
what Big
maybe
Screen
they're
is offering.
getting hardware hungry and wanted to do their own headset, but maybe they should have gone to Rokit and said, "Hey,
Yeah, like I said, go to
Collaborations.
Lynx, go to Rokit, go to
They built
X-Real.
something incredible. Man, if the guy from Immerse is listening to this, like, bro, hit me up. Like,
Yeah.
I really believe that this industry needs collaboration. That's the only way companies will win. Like everybody is trying to have like the best, different, shinier car, and they're all using the same engine. Like,
Yeah.
if everybody's going to be using the same engine, stop reintroducing cars. Let's get into the performance statistics. Let's get into the what makes these cars amazing. Let's make the software. Let's Immerse is the killer app. It's a killer app. And they know that they have a killer app. And instead of saying, hey, hardware companies, we have the killer app, they were like, let's throw our resources, our development time, our relationships, our reputation, and potentially
that's the
release a
scary part.
faulty headset. That's you don't do that. Like I really like I love Immerse, but you don't do that to your fan base, to your hardcore users. You amplify what people love about it. That's how you win in this industry. So that's really
We'll have to see how it goes. Yeah.
It's just super interesting to see more companies making headsets right now, in a landscape where, the Quest Pro dies and, headsets drop out all the time and big companies like Meta are struggling. And, we see these smaller companies taking these huge chances. Like this could, if this goes bad, this could cripple some of these companies, you know what I mean? To the point where they just go under and,
maybe that that's the difference, and I hate to kind of like toot my own horn, but that's really the difference between me and my company and a lot of these people. I said it earlier. I will either be one of the most successful and wealthiest leaders in this space, or one of the most happiest and brightest and homeless people in this space. It's you really have to be in this to win it. And in order to win it, is the respect of the industry, not the bank account, not the dollar pockets. I could talk about all the I know leaders all the time. Like my company, yes, my company has generated over $3 million. You don't see a dollar of that. You don't even see a penny, because it all goes into resources and investments and relationships in running the company. You have to not worry about that. You really can't. You have to be willing to lose it all and gain it all, and lose it all and gain it all, but never be willing to risk and lose the respect of the industry. That's when you lose it all. Like I think
100%.
about that a lot, and I really think that what the Immerse team is doing is they're taking a risk that they shouldn't need to take. They shouldn't need to take it. They shouldn't need to take it. Yes, they're financially bankrupt. So is the industry. There's a lot of money problems. So is the industry. Talk and build allies. Don't try to build another
Reinvent the
wheel,
wheel.
because now you're hurting the industry. Now you're asking for money from other people. Like,
This may be my favorite episode of all time. This was so good. Seriously.
Jose the VR tech, man.
Dude, I love talking.
I
I just get off on talking technology. I mean,
bro,
especially when we get somebody in like you. That's why I was like, look, Jose, I love you and I want to talk all about you. Well, I just want to talk VR, man.
We just want to talk VR.
And this is some of the best fun we have. I mean, I love when we can bring people in here and just discuss VR, and we have these talks and we have these debates, and we kind of look at the industry as a whole. And I like that we get a chance to do that and see where we are now, where we're going, and where we think that we should be going. And you were probably one of the best people to bring in for that. Thank you, dude.
Oh, thank you guys. Man, anytime you guys need me, I'm here.
Awesome. We definitely got to do it again.
Yeah, for sure.
We are. It's like 2 hours and 40
Oh my God,
like that. Holy crap.
Holy
crap.
Yeah, I'm starting
This
to
is
get
2F reality
PTSD, and
episodes.
I'm hearing Zim screaming in the back of my head. Like,
I tell you,
He's hitting me up on Twitter right now. Just tell him to shut up.
We just did 2F reality episodes. It's crazy. And, and Mickey's still dropping keys in chat.
I know.
Holy crap.
Let's go.
Tasselhoff says, this has been a great show. What is going on, Tass? How you doing? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, this has been an amazing show, guys. We really appreciate it. Thank you for being here, Jose, man. Thank you. And we got to have you in again, because I want to talk more about, about you and the industry, and like, things that you've gone through. We could do a show just on that alone, of not even getting into stuff. And I think we will at some point again in the future. It'd be awesome.
Thank you again. I guess I can leave you with one little thing that you just mentioned, that I wanted to make sure that I announced this, but I've been working behind the scenes and preparing myself a little live streaming set. So I will be starting live streaming after F Reality podcast, after about an hour and a half after every stream. I do plan on starting this hour to stream just Q&As and streaming and talking to people. I really want to start talking to the fans directly. So if you guys want to jump in with me and talk, because that's my goal. It's to,
hell yeah, dude.
I'm not going to produce something like you guys. This is crazy. This is like man, I feel like I'm literally in a high production, but I would love to be more intimate with the industry and talking to them more, and finding ways to be more accessible without being too accessible, right? Because to be honest, I'm an introvert and I get overwhelmed quite easily. So this is thank you again for even giving me the opportunity to be a nerd with you guys.
Hell yeah. No, man, this has been a blast. And thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. We appreciate it. Come and check out Virtual Strangers tomorrow night. Myself, Wes, and Roots will be on. We got some cool stuff that we're checking out. Checking out 3 games this week that kind of hit just recently. And we're going to give you guys the full scoop on that. And then I think Sunday you'll have the full episode of Virtual Strangers. But I think Saturday night I will be live streaming Saturday night. So come join me. We're back to our normal Saturday night live streams. It's been a little while since we've done it, but we're going to do some cool stuff. I'm sure we'll probably be in a Ghost of Tabor at some point.
And speaking of Zim Talk, we're doing a Zim Talk live stream on Sunday. I'm gonna miss this one again. It fucking piss me off.
Oh, but I am.
And you're gonna be there.
I am.
And Zim's doing some more Gran Turismo 7.
We're racing, baby.
It's gonna be fun.
I finally home, and they're in the middle of that, and I'm like, Zim, I'm home.
Practicing.
And he's like,
I'm not ready.
Are you gonna get in?
I'm
Are you gonna get in?
I'm practicing.
Come in
That's
Sunday.
all I'm gonna tell you. I'm
Oh,
practicing.
nice. I want it.
I see you guys racing, and I ain't gonna be chumped out like that. So I'm practicing. So I'll be
Nice.
ready.
I want to see it, man. I want to see it.
Oh, dude,
It's gonna be
I'm
a lot
telling
of
you.
fun.
I'm ready.
Yeah. So yeah, come Saturday night, come hang out with me, and then Sunday come out, hang out with Zim, and hopefully we'll see myself and maybe Jose there. D, any live streams coming soon? Are you getting back into it or no?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. That's a good.
Flat live streaming.
That's a strong maybe.
Possibly because
strong maybe.
Remnant
It's a strong
Remnant
maybe.
2
It's a strong
is
maybe.
such a freaking awesome game, dude.
Yeah,
Talking
yeah.
about it
Yeah.
now, I'm like, oh,
I don't know anything about that game because I'm the only flat game I play is Call of Duty. So
It
Yeah,
is
man.
fantastic, Todd. It's
Is it good?
the gunplay in it. I think you'd like it.
Which game is
Oh.
it you're talking about?
Remnant 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I think I'm gonna get it.
Might
Can
have
I
to
play it
try
on my
that,
Steam
yeah.
Deck?
Mm,
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna try it.
Can I play it on my
Yeah.
Rocket Air glasses?
Yeah, maybe to do that.
Maybe.
All right, guys, let me do the reminders. Everybody here watching, please do me a favor. Give us a thumbs up on the video. We really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm, which we hate, but it helps us anyway. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you are subscribed, go tell somebody else to subscribe. We are 17 subscribers away from 5,000. Help us out, get to 5,000. We appreciate it. We get to 5,000, I guarantee in 2 days we'll be at 10,000. Just that's how the way it works. No, I'm
That's
just
the way it
kidding.
works.
But yeah, help us out. We'll get to 5,000. It'd be a lot of fun. We really would appreciate it. Go check out our Discord if you're not in there. There's a ton of stuff going on. We're doing more giveaways for keys in Discord than we are doing on the live shows now. So if you're here for the keys, go to Discord. You'll have a lot of fun there. There's a lot of people talking. Good community there. Everybody's hanging out. And Todd does a great job of running the Discord really well. So go check out the Discord. And then our Patreon, guys. If you want to help us out in another way and you want to become a member of our Patreon, we would really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. Take care of some small things that we got to take care of. And there's a lot of small things. They build up pretty fast. So if you want to help us out, check out the Patreon. If Todd can drop the link in the chat to our Patreon, you get a lot of cool things. You get to hang out with us every Monday when we do the show prep. Myself, Todd, sometimes D, and every patron gets to come in and hang out with us when we figure out what the freak we're talking about for this week. And we plan these shows, and I tell everybody in the chat that I got Jose coming this week, and they were all excited. They were the first to know. If you want to, you get a shirt, and you get your own patron channel. You can where we chat and we talk. It's a lot
We
of
give
cool
more
stuff.
keys away to the patrons as well that are exclusives to them.
Yeah, and products and
hardware,
stuff like
all
that
kinds
that
of
we
shit.
can't use. So yeah, if you want to do something nice, come and help us out. We just got a new one last week, I think. Who was it? Amber Manzer came in and joined us for
That's
our
right,
patrons.
yep.
So thank you very much, Amber, and we appreciate it. All right, guys, I think that is it for us. For Jose, D, and my man Todd. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye, guys.